For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Let me check and make sure that we on point. Make sure everybody can hear me. It looks like we okay. This our boy Coach Malachi Williams, man, and we back in the building. True Media Today USA Boxing. We are back. Just running a little late, couple minutes late, man. I had to get me, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I was burning one. True. I was burning one. I had lost track of time.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
This the first one. Hold on. This the first one. I burnt today. You know what I mean? So you know how it is. That first one, boy. I was pretty much jonesing. You know what? My Jones wasn't really that strong today. Man. But I started to, I felt myself starting to get a little agitated. You get what I'm saying? I started to get a little agitated. So when I got agitated, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, let me go ahead and burn one before the show start. Because if I don't burn one before the show start, then sometimes I may get mad and go to snapping. I may have a troll. Not a troll, because the trolls don't bother me. I like the trolls, to be honest with you. But as long as they ain't spamming, they spamming, y'all invite them to the block party after you warn them, though. But normally, I like to be in a laughing spirit. You get what I'm saying? Laughing all the time. It is what it is. Hey, Metal Hendrix say, Haney, put some respect on my name. Yeah, Devin Haney say respect it. Devin Haney say everybody been hating on him. He said, y'all gotta respect it, man. Y'all gotta respect my gangster. That's what Devin Haney said.
You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Just want to throw that out there. Haney like, man, y'all better respect it, man. Shout out to Knockdown 305. Shout out to Jamie Rivera. Shout out to Passion for Beauty. Shout out to Jose. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Mike, the mobile mechanic. Green Eyes P. Mailman Mac, what's going on, brother? Shout out to T Seals from the ATL. Knockdown 305, Dade County's finest. Shout out to my brother Teach. Teach, what's going on, fam? Swat Jones in the building. L. Harvey, what's going on, fam? Harvey, what's going on, bro? Let's see. Shout out to Daniel. Daniel, what's going on, fam? Shout out to the Inevitable, D-Block, D-Town, D-City, D-Ville, Baltimore, Stand Up. Facts! Hey, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to my man Swat Jones. I was trying to burn too. I like to burn too, right? Because when I burn too, boy, I be like, oh, bro, you get what I'm saying? I be levitating. So, I got some really, really strong stuff. It don't kick in a little bit. I don't felt it kicked in. It's kicking in right now, you know what I mean? So I got my main man, Blood Boxing, coming on the show. He'll be here at the 20-minute mark, 20 minutes after. Well, as a matter of fact, he'll be back. He'll be here in 10 minutes. So let me go ahead and do my opening statement. Shout out to my sister, Jackie Hernandez. It is what it is. Shout out to Jackie Hernandez. Shout out to the Dunk Flesh. What's going on, fam? Dodge J, salute. Shout out to Soul for D, salute, fam. All right, let's get into the show. Yeah, listen, man. Listen, boy, I'm trying to tell you now. I do know that Devin Haney is down. He's down with the Wakandas over there, the Alphabet Boy community. I do know that. He's down with the him and his dad. They down with the Wakanda niggas. I do know that. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna let that get in the way of me giving Devin Haney a fair shake. True. I'm not gonna get in the way of me giving the brothers fair shake because I like Devin Haney. And what I want to say to you guys is this: it's possible to like both fighters. It's possible to be a fan of Tank Davis and Devin Haney. It's possible to be. Matter of fact, my camera look like this. Yeah, I don't know. I might be good. I'm tripping. It might be the weed. Damn, I'm kind of tripping. Hold on. Oh, shit. Y'all know me. Y'all know me, man. The weed had you I'm feeling kind of paranoid a little bit, but it is what it is. That's just the side effects of the endo. That's all. Anyway, it's possible. Like, you know what I noticed about the YTBC? They feel like that if you like a fighter, and that fighter is a rival of another fighter or whatever, right? You have to choose sides. I like Tank, so I gotta hate Dev and Shakur. I like Shakur, so I gotta hate Tank and Dev. I like Dev, so I gotta hate Shakur and Tank. Why you can't like all three of them? True. I just want to throw that out there. You get what I'm saying? Why you can't like all three of them? Why you have to hate? Why you have to hate one fighter because you love another fighter? You get what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying that. You know, I'm not saying that. You know, you don't have fans who hate certain fighters. I'm not saying that, right? But what I'm saying is, you know, on the YTBC, like you'll see dudes break up. They act like these niggas act like they be in relationships with a woman. Like, yeah, you know, nigga, you got to choose who you like. It's either gonna be Wilder or Anthony Joshua. And if you like Anthony Joshua, we gonna kick you out the group. You know, you can't like Anthony Joshua and Wilder. Yeah, you might be pulling for Wilder to win or pulling for Joshua to win, but you gotta hate one. And not only that, it's not only good enough to hate one, you gotta talk bad about the other one too. True. These niggas is like, bro, like these niggas is some strange, these niggas is strange, bro. These niggas is very, 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 very strange. Like, you can't make this up. Hold on, we got, I got this old whole ass nigga over here. Hold on. Look like I see a whole nigga in the building. Look like I see a whole nigga right here. See this whole nigga right here? He say fag 9 is on your neck. Okay, so this what we doing, huh? This what we doing? Okay, all right. You know me. I keep pistols loaded. Hey, listen, tell that fuck boy. I know he sent your bitch ass over here. As a matter of fact, what's your name? Fanny Pack. You might be fag 9 in disguise, old dick in the boot ass nigga. Tell that fuck nigga I'm on this neck too.
No, throwing that loosey-goosey all over, it's going to get messy like that.
Yeah, tell that fuck nigga I'm on his neck too. You know what I mean? Nigga showing cottage cheese and titties. This is where I got cottage cheese and titties from. That nigga titties bigger than my ex-girlfriend. True. Send that to him, Fanny Pack. Fuck boy. True. And when I drop the phone lines, you make sure you call hoe ass nigga. Don't duck the smoke, dick in the boot ass nigga. Anyway, let's get back into the show. Now, I got thrown off. And just in case, boy, I do not play, boy, I am ruthless.
No bullet holes. Throwing that loosey-goosey all over, it's going to get messy like that.
You get what I'm saying? Man, come on, man. I ain't nothing to play with, boy. Listen. Go play with your mama, dog. Go play with your mama. Go play with your mama, boy. Coach Malachi is nothing to play with. I can promise you that. I'm winning this war. I will win this information war. I will not lose. It's straight ether when you fucking with me. True. That's something I learned from Karma Serene. Shout out to Karma Serene. I do know Karma Serene. You know, that's my sister. She a good sister, man. I do know, we don't agree on everything, but that's my sister. It's something I learned from Karma Serene. She say, honey, when they go low, I dig a ditch. True. I dig ditches over here, but I don't even play, dog. I'ma kick you when you're down. I'ma spit on you. You know, I'ma dog you out. I'ma mutt you. That's what I do. We don't even play, boy. Like over here, niggas from Tampa, Florida, niggas from Florida in general, we do not play. We savages on top of savages, on top of savages, on top of savages. True. No, sir. No. I am not the one. Anyways, Devin Haney's bold claim about his legacy in comparison to his peers with my special guest, Blood Boxing. Anything that Coach Malachi say on this show is not a reflection of Blood Boxing. I don't want nobody thinking, yeah, man, Blood on the show, Coach hat don't snap, so Blood must be down with it. No. Blood is his own man. That's my brother. That's my main man. Anything that Coach Malachi says is a reflection of me. Don't try to project and deflect and throw it on nobody else. And Blood is a big boy. He can handle himself. But I just want to let you know that any guest that I have on this show, whatever I say is not a reflection of my guest thoughts. That's a reflection of my thoughts. You guys know me. I'm gonna tell it how I see it. Anyways, now, in a recent interview with the boxing scene, Devin The Dream Haney You know what I mean? Who was formerly the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. You got that right, formerly, because he's not that anymore. But he made history. He's in the history books, and those are the facts. Stated that he wanted to be compared to the greats based off of his accomplishments thus far in his career. And he's only 24 years old, right? I don't know when Devin is going to be 25. I don't know when his birthday is, but it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? In an era where popularity rules and belts don't matter, Haney has taken the opposite stance of that of his peers. Fighters like Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, and Lomachenko have all had legacy-defining fights in an era where legacy is frowned upon amongst the casual social media fan base of today. At 24 years old, it's hard to argue who's accomplished what Devin Haney has accomplished at such a young age. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, just trying to be undisputed in a four-belt era in today's times with the political climate is very, very hard, to be fair. You know what I mean? So, did he make some strategic moves? Yes, he did. He made some very strategic moves. But hey, man, Bill Haney is playing chess right now. He's playing chess right now. Bill, you know what I mean? The manager and the father of Devin Haney. Now, and now he's fighting Regis Prograis, guys, at 140 pounds in December. Where do you guys rate Devin Haney's accomplishments in this era of boxing? I also want to read the article, exactly what he said, just part of it. And do you guys feel that he should be compared to the greats at this point in his career? You know what I mean? Do you feel that way, or do you feel that, it's too soon at the point in order to make that comparison? And once again, special guest, I will have my brother Blood Boxing known. And since we're going to get right into the show, I don't want to take too much time because he will be on in a few minutes. You know how we started this show? You know, we always got to say all praises due to the Most High, the most exalted, the greatest human being on the planet Earth, Mr. Al Heyman.
Well, you know, I guess I got to be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me?
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah, man, bro, I'm trying to tell you, man, like, man, this shit right here, man, like, bro, I'm trying to tell these niggas, man, you know, these niggas be running up, man, homie, man, like, you like a midget on his knees trying to sling keys. Homie, this ain't, like, this ain't what you want, fam. This ain't what you want, so what you want. This ain't what you want, fam. This ain't what you want. Not with Coach Malachi. Not with Coach Malachi. This ain't what you want, dog. My level of pettiness, and I ain't even dug into my bag yet. I haven't even dug into my bag yet. Shout out to Buckle Up Boxing Talk. I haven't even dug into my bag yet. You guys have no idea the level of I am the pettiest Capricorn you ever wanted to meet. Yeah, I'm literally the worst. I'm probably the worst, the pettiest, the most spiteful, the most revengeful. That's a true story. I don't play with fag nons. I don't play with janitor farties. Listen. Where I come from, we crush fuck boys. We crush fuck boys and dick in the booty ass niggas. That's what we do. True. I do not play, boy. I'm trying to tell you niggas, boy. This is ether. I'm the Nas of this shit.
Fuck with your soul like ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already.
I'm the type of nigga I will go to bed thinking about, okay, this nigga, hold on, this nigga, what this nigga said? I'm the type of nigga, I come up with all kind of stuff. I will spend money out of my own pocket, the doggone flame you goddamn niggas. True. I'm gonna tell you like doggone, what a dude named Bobby Boucher on the water, boy? Leave me alone. Y'all better leave me alone, man. I ain't playing, man. I am not playing. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shout out to you whole ass niggas. Yeah, shut the fuck up, fanny pack. When I drop the phone line, bitch ass nigga, make sure you call the show. You probably fag nine. Let me see who this is. This might be Jason Mones. I just thought about it. I got my man Blood Boxing on. Hold on, I'm finna pour blood up right now. This might be Jason Mones. I just thought about it. I just thought about it. I said this probably Jason Mones right here. Let me see who this is. Let me see. Hey, hold on. Hey, man, listen, I got my brother right here, man. Shout out to my man, the one and only, man. My brother, Blood Boxing, man. Salute.
Coach.
Blood, what's going on, brother? How you doing, fam?
How you doing, fam? What's good with you, my brother?
Man, I'm doing good, Blood. Hey, man, hold on, Blood. I just want to show you. I just want to show something, right? Because me and Blood gonna talk this boxing talk. I really, the reason why I wanted to get my brother Blood on the show, guys, is because Blood Boxing is one of the most knowledgeable men on the YTBC when it comes to boxing. There's a few channels out there that really, really hold it down. Blood is the type of guy that I look at, and not because he's a Florida boy and I met Blood, really, really nice brother, but it's because that in my opinion, he's trying to hold the integrity of the sport of boxing down, by educating casuals and people who are not well versed in this sport online. And it's very, very hard to do in this era when you just have an era that's rampant full of casuals, fanboys, commandment breakers. They have an overly passion for certain men. We heard a show. We heard on the Boxing Voice. I don't know if you know this, Blood. There was a dude who called Ness on the Boxing Voice, and he told Ness that because his wife said that she likes if Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford were to fight, she liked Terrence Crawford. She favors Terrence Crawford to beat Boots. And this guy literally said, and I have the video footage, this guy literally said that, he was so mad at his wife for saying that he didn't sleep in the bed with her for a week.
What?
This what we dealing with. This what we dealing with. This what we dealing with, Blood.
He didn't sleep in his bed with his wife for a week over some boxing.
I can't make this up.
Man, this shit wild, bro. Shit wild.
Hey, you know what I mean? So hold on. I wanna see something, cause I got a nigga that's trolling, but I want to show everybody, Blood, how these niggas roll. See these dudes trolling, right? And it ain't really just dudes, it's just this one guy. But I want to show you something. This guy right here just created Blood he just created a channel a few days ago on the 15th. He created a channel on the 15th of September. His name is Fanny Pack. He created, now this could be anybody. It's probably Jason Mones. I have several trolls. I have several dudes that be, they be trying to shoot they little 22s, but it don't work. But September the 15th, just to come try to troll my chat. Like, this is what these dudes do. A lot of you guys think that I be snapping and going off for nothing, but no, that ain't it, fam. That ain't it. I don't be snapping and going off for nothing, man. It just, hold on, where my brother Blood at? And where Blood at? Oh, there you go, man.
Right here, baby.
No, I know. Yeah, hold on, Blood. I'm sitting there tripping, man. I had no burnt one, man. So, anyways, Blood. Not to waste your time, Devin Haney, did an interview not too long ago, and I have it right here, Blood. And the reason why I brought you here is because I want to talk about the historical aspect of boxing as it relates to what Devin Haney said. Devin Haney said in a recent interview on, I think it was on the boxing scene, he said that, when it comes to, he don't like being compared to his contemporaries like the Tank Davises, the Shakur Stevensons and stuff like that. He said that, when you talk about me, you have to talk about me and, you have to mention me with the greats. This is what he said. Some people felt that type of way, Blood. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Some people felt some type of way about it. I had a couple of people reach out to me like, who the hell does nigga think he is talking about? You got to mention him with the greats and all of this stuff there. And again, I do get it. I understand. I think this. No, that's Benavidez. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I do get it. He's moved up to 120, 140 right now. He's going to fight Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is a WBC champion. He's a two-time WBC champion. And Regis Prograis put in a lot of work at 140. Devin Haney put his work in at 135. As you know, Blood, he became undisputed. So now he's moving up to 140. If you look at the fights that he's had thus far, of course, he fought Cambosos twice. Of course, he's fought Lomachenko, a fighter that a lot of the top guys, a couple of top guys didn't want to fight at that weight division. And now he's going to 140 to fight Regis Prograis, which in my opinion is not going to be an easy task. I wanted to talk to you about, okay, when he say compare me to the greats of the past, all right, okay, let's look at the greats of the past. Let's look at the Roberto Durans. Let's look at the Pernell Whitakers, guys who you well versed in. We say, okay, Devin Haney is only 24, so I do want to keep that in the proper context. We know a lot of the great things that Salvador Sanchez did at such a young age before he passed away. How do you feel about that, Blood? Do you feel some type of way about it, or as of right now?
Well, I think it's okay for Devin Haney to feel that way, but the historians of the game, we're not going to feel that way at this time. He has to put in more work. I mean, if you're going to look at the 140-pound division, okay, so he's been an undisputed in the lightweight division. If we look at the past 50 years, right before the 1980s, it was Roberto Duran. Duran, of course, defeated Ken Buchanan in 1972. He won the WBA lightweight title. There was only 2 belts at the time, the WBA and the WBC. In 1978, Duran became undisputed, defeating De Jesus for the WBC title. Duran had 12 defenses at lightweight. All right, Devin Haney is just getting started, really. And he's only had, I think, 2 defenses at lightweight. I think he defended against Kambosos and Lomachenko, right?
Yes, sir.
So when Duran skipped 140-pound, the 140-pound division, which he actually skipped it totally, he didn't fight Cervantes. He didn't fight Aaron Pryor. He went straight to welterweight and got him a fight eventually with Sugar Ray Leonard. So his situation is totally different. He was already a lightweight legend that had reigned throughout the whole 1970s. So at this time, you can't compare Devin Haney to Roberto Duran. The other standout lightweight of the 1980s is Pernell Whitaker. He's the one who became undisputed after Duran. So you had Duran as an undisputed. You had Whitaker as an undisputed. Whitaker only took 1 fight at 140, defeating Rafael Pineda, and then he moved up to 147 pounds. So I don't really see where he could compare to Roberto Duran or Pernell Whitaker. You had De La Hoya. He had a little reign at lightweight, even though he was carrying a WBO strap, which at that time wasn't really recognized. At one time, he did win an IBF title, but he went to 140. He made a quick pit stop there for to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, right? The 1990s lightweight standout. If he wants to compare himself to Sugar Shane Mosley, Mosley was never undisputed, but like Duran, he totally skipped over the 140-pound division to fight De La Hoya. Mayweather made a 4-fight stop at 140 pounds. He was never really undisputed there, but what he did after that became his legacy. So brief stops at 140 was Whitaker, De La Hoya, and Mayweather. The guys who totally skipped 140 was Mosley and Duran. At this time, I wouldn't compare Devin Haney to none of those 5 guys. You got Whitaker, De La Hoya, Mayweather, Mosley, and Duran. I can't compare him with a fight to Kambosos and a fight to Lomachenko, to those type of guys. So that's bullshit. What he would have to do is he would have to fight guys like Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson to get mentioned into that company. And that's a historian's take on it. We could go further into this, but you go ahead, Coach. We could expand on this conversation.
Yes, sir. Do you? Okay, but what about the simple fact that Blood, that he he's young. No, he's young. He was only 24 years old. He became undisputed at 24. The youngest guy, in the 4-belt era to do it. Would you consider his age thus far? Not necessarily. I definitely get exactly what you're saying. You can't really, when you compare him to those guys. But would you look at, hey, man, his age thus far, does he get any credit with you for that, the age in which he became undisputed?
Not in this environment, he doesn't. And even when Whitaker and De La Hoya and Mayweather were his age, they were of Olympic pedigree, and the environment was totally different back then. So it's really hard to compare Devin Haney to those guys who were already coming out of the gate off of Olympic pedigree and things like that. Devin Haney has a lot to prove. He has to fight his contemporaries. He has to fight a Shakur Stevenson. He has to fight a Tank Davis. These are the type of guys he has to fight to be mentioned as above those guys. He has to beat those guys, right? Other great fighters, they had to beat the guys who was around their division. Whitaker had to beat guys like Greg Haugen and Jose Luis Ramirez and people like that. So, you have to beat the guys who are your contemporaries. You have to beat those guys, and then you could be mentioned with the greats. His age doesn't really mean nothing because this environment is totally different from the environment that Whitaker and De La Hoya and Mayweather fought in, or even a Mosley and Duran who totally skipped over 140 pounds for a big money fight at 147. For him to do the equivalent of what they did, he would have to move right into a Terrence Crawford fight or something like that and fight the welterweight champ.
Hold on. So let me get this super shout out of the way, blood. Shout out to Swift. Hey, okay. For dropping that half for bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Swift say salute, coach and blood. He say big fan of you both. Yeah, man. Yeah. This my partner, man. This my partner here, man. Blood, very, very sharp dude, man. Him. Blood. Let everybody know about your channels, man. You got Retro Boxing and Documentaries, and let them know the channels to subscribe to.
I have 2 channels on social media. I have Blood Boxing, but the more serious channel, the one that I would really like for you guys to subscribe to, is called Retro Boxing and Documentaries, in which I do documentaries on past fighters. So okay. Blood Boxing, Retro Boxing, and Documentaries.
All right, so far, Devin Haney has fought Vasily Lomachenko. So he beat him, right? Some people feel that he didn't beat him. Some people feel that he did beat him, but the judges had it. He beat him, so that is what it is. So do you think that is a step in the right direction for Devin Haney? And I will say this, blood. Before I know I'm getting kind of winded, but I want to say this here. I do look at the plight that he had to go through in order to become undisputed. Some people are saying about Devin Haney, they don't count his undisputedness because they feel that he took a very, very easy route to get there. George Kambosos, this is the argument against Haney from his critics. He was an email champ. He didn't fight for the title. He got elevated. So that's what it was. After he got elevated, he fought a couple of guys that wasn't really nothing. And then he was over there with the zone. And because of politics, he couldn't get the fights over there with Top Rank. So as soon as the opportunity presented itself, as soon as Teofimo Lopez fought George Kambosos, lost his belt. This is this is not what I'm saying, but this is the argument that people have said that criticize Devin Haney. Devin Haney saw the opportunity to hurry up and jump and come to Top Rank. Now, the thing is, it wasn't a guarantee that he was going to get Kambosos because Kambosos was going to fight Vasily Lomachenko. But just so happened, blood, they had the war going on in Russia and Ukraine. So Lomachenko decided to stay, and that opened up the door for Devin Haney as a backup plan for Kambosos to fight for the titles. So Devin Haney with this 1 belt, and Kambosos got the 3 belts that he took from for Teofimo Lopez. And they say that he beat that guy, which was literally nobody, C-class fighter that got lucky and beat Teofimo Lopez. That's how he got the belts. And then he rematched and beat him again. So people are saying that, oh, man, he undisputed, but the value of the belts really don't mean much because 1 is Devin Haney. They don't like the guy. And 2, they feel that the path he went to get him, he didn't. It was an easy road for him. Do you feel that that's a valid argument, blood, or do you feel that's bullshit too?
I feel it's bullshit too, man. Really, when it comes to it, man, he got an opportunity, and he took advantage of his opportunity. Lomachenko had went to war, but it's the guy that he beat. It's Kambosos. Kambosos is not a legendary fighter. That's the problem there. He's not even as good as the guys that Pernell Whitaker beat, such as Jose Luis Romero and Greg Hogan and guys like that. And he's definitely no De Jesus, who Duran had to beat to actually get the undisputed championship. So Kambosos is not a big name in comparison to the guys that he wants to be compared to the guys that they beat, right? Pernell Whitaker had to beat 3 guys to get his, because IBF came into play in 1984. Their first champion at lightweight was Charlie Brown, the little light-skinned guy from up north, right? So he had to beat 3 guys. There was only 2 belts when Duran was carrying the WBA, and then he had to beat De Jesus, who's a legendary fighter himself. How does Kambosos compare to those guys? There's no comparison.
So me and you talk about this all the time, blood, in the past, and I share this with these guys today on my channel, and I'm like, man, who you fight matters. Yesterday I was talking about Floyd, and I don't mean to bring him up, but I'm bringing him up. And Floyd Bragg, I was looking at a video where Floyd was on SportsCenter, and he was arguing with one of the reporters. I forgot the guy, Brian Brian Kelly or something like that, Brian Kenny. And
Yep.
he spoke about, I sold this, I did 3.5 and this and that. And Brian, Floyd is a very, very narcissist. We do know that, and it's me, I. But the Brian said, Floyd, you did, but you didn't do it by yourself. When you sold 3.5 million pay-per-view buys, Oscar De La Hoya was a big factor in that selling. He said when you sold this with Ricky Hatton was a big factor in that setting. And I try to explain. So when people make straw man arguments about Floyd, well, he did this, he did that. I'm like, yeah, he did it, but you got to look at who he fought. Floyd made sure that he fought the right people, the right names. He fought the right Mexicans that had backings behind them. He fought, Ricky Hatton from the UK, Manny Pacquiao, and and that was sparked interest in those fights because Floyd Mayweather's opponents were the other half of the equation. And if it was as simple as, yeah, I sold this and sold that, I broke records by myself because I'm Floyd Mayweather. Well, when he fought doggone Berto, it did like 400,000 pay-per-view buys. Exactly. So it go back to what you're saying, and you have an old school criteria, who you fight matters. Is that what you're saying, Blood?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Kambosos, you can't compare him to De Jesus. I wouldn't even compare him to Greg Haugen, to be real with you. And I'm definitely not going to compare him to Jose Luis Ramirez. Mm. So, if anybody wants to have that argument, you could call in and you could have the argument. I'm
gonna drop the phone lines so people can call into the show. I will drop the phone lines in a few. But he has time though, Blood. He's only 24 years old. He has time. So he looks like he's going into the right direction. To be fair, he beat Lomachenko. Controversial decision, whatever, but he got the victory, and now he's fighting Regis Prograis. And I don't look at Regis Prograis as being a walk in the park, but some people saying based off of Regis Prograis' last performance that, Regis didn't look too good, so, Devin Haney should win that fight easily, and they're fighting in his hometown. I think they're fighting in the Bay Area. I think it's San Francisco or something of that sort. So, but do you think he's heading in the right direction?
I think he's headed in the right direction, and I like Devin Haney. I thought he won the Lomachenko fight. He received a lot of controversy for that. The only problem with Devin Haney, the biggest criticism I have of him is that for a young guy of his age, he hasn't had a knockout since 2019. He doesn't close the show. He doesn't sell a whole lot of tickets. When these other guys were young, even Pernell Whitaker, who was, he wasn't no hard puncher, but he knew how to beat people up and get them out of there late. Mm. He would stop a lot of these guys that he was fighting sometimes. But there was never a period in time where Pernell Whitaker went a 4-year span and not knocked out nobody when he was a younger guy. He would stop at least somebody. This guy don't stop anybody, man. He don't get no stoppages. That's a big criticism.
Yeah, that is a big criticism of him. I mean, he don't have the. He just don't have. He's not blessed with the punching power, I guess. Shout out to Swift 718. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
All right, this is a good one right here, Blood. He said the same reason Tank won't be regarded as great. He said the people you have victories over matter. That's true. He said easy route is the easiest route away from being a great. I totally agree with that. What say you, Blood?
I agree 100% with that. Because when you look at it, who has Tank really beat? That's an ATG caliber fighter. He beat Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia is not an ATG caliber fighter. There is none. He doesn't have anybody like that on his resume.
So do you? It's something that you said earlier. You said that when I asked you about Devin Haney, can he be compared? Now he said that he should be compared to amongst the greats, and I do have the article right here. I'm gonna drop. Let me drop the link right here, guys. I don't want nobody thinking I'm capping. But I do have it right here. It's a Boston Scene article, Blood. As a matter of fact, let me just share it right quick so you can see it. He said that, he should be compared amongst the greats. And there's nothing wrong with it. He feels that way. This is him right here. And I did read the entire article. He said, only compare me to the greats. So just to make sure I wasn't just getting a sound bite and it was taken out of proportion. But it's a nice little article about, just to interview what he did. And the wrap up, he just said Gamboa, Leonardes, Jojo Diaz, Kambosos 2 times, Lomachenko, and Prograis next. He said, and Haney said on his social media account as he rattled off previous and upcoming opponents, 24 years old, he said that only compare me to the greats because only greats have done it. So that's pretty much what he's saying. How he pretty much see himself or whatever. Hold on, blood. Make sure I get you back on here. Let me turn this off. Stop sharing this screen. You make a valid point, blood. This is the disconnect, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's something that you said earlier. You said that in this era, in this climate of boxing, it's kind of hard to consider Devin Haney a great as of yet because this climate of boxing. What's the difference between this climate, this era of boxing and the era that the Roberto Durans and them came up in from a, I guess from a mentality and the mindset standpoint? What say you about that?
Man, there's a whole lot of differences. Okay, so if you look at Roberto Duran, the ranking systems were more valid. You had the WBA and the WBC, and that was it when he was moving around in the lightweight division. These guys had to fight for position in the rankings. So the cream kind of rose to the top back then. During the Pernell Whitaker era, there was an added belt in the IBF, right? During the Oscar De La Hoya era, the WBO came around. It wasn't recognized yet, but that's the belt that Oscar De La Hoya toted around. The top 10 fighters had to fight each other. They didn't have an internet option to build a fan base. They had to take the fights when the manager came up to them and said, hey, you need to fight so-and-so, unless your name was Sugar Ray Leonard or Mike Tyson or somebody like that, which Mike Tyson really didn't exercise those kind of options. But Sugar Ray Leonard was one of the guys who did. But Sugar Ray Leonard was from a different pedigree. And plus he had proved himself by fighting the Roberto Durans and fighting Thomas Hearns, who was a killer, fighting Benitez and all of those type of guys. The environments are totally different because now fighters have options. They didn't have the options back then. Outside of like Sugar Ray Leonard, they didn't have any options. They had to take the fights that came their way, or else they would not be featured on TV. So they might not get another shot at one of these sanctioning belts if they didn't take the shot then. Now fighters could say, oh, I don't want to take like Frank Martin recently did. That would have never happened in 1980 or 1990, where a fighter was given an opportunity at a belt and they said, nah, I'm not going to take that belt. I'm not going to take a chance at that belt or whatever. It's like, for instance, when Aaron Pryor fought Cervantes, right? He had to take the shot at that time. He couldn't go and say, hey, I'm going to go somewhere else and wait for another opportunity to come up and stuff like that. They didn't have those kind of options back then.
A lot of people say, blood, and it's amazing you said that because now in today's time, ducking is, and I'm not, let me preface it this way. The duck word is thrown around a whole lot. I think it's misused a lot. And I think fan bases today, when they don't like a certain fighter, they'll say, well, he ducked this, he did that, yada, 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 yada. And a lot of times they really don't have any merit. I don't think half of these guys even know what the hell ducking means, but basically what I'm gathering what you're saying is in that time when the opportunity presented itself, the fighter could not afford to duck other fighters because he never knew when he was going to get that opportunity again. In today's time, in this climate, as Floyd Mayweather once said, back when I was coming up, I got a chance to pick and choose who I wanted to fight, because I earned that right. A lot of people fail to realize that he did say he earned that right. So it was certain fights that he probably had to have. We know he had 35 fights at top rank. He had 15 fights as Money Mayweather, and the Money Mayweather phase, he was able to pretty much dictate, pick who he wanted to fight. So back then, in that era, you wasn't able to duck the way you are now. Now it seems to me that this social media era, blood, and I got this from you because I spoke about this yesterday about Floyd Mayweather, and you educated me on the fact that Floyd Mayweather, he the one brought in the social media aspect of boxing, and he blew up in the social media era. I remember blood when Floyd was on Dancing with the Stars. I remember he was used to be at the Hip Hop Awards, at the Source Awards. I remember when WWE. WWE. He was connected to the hottest rapper in the game at the time, which was 50 Cent. The hottest pop artist, up and coming pop artist at that time was Justin Bieber. So he really did a lot to build his image and his profile. These fighters today, they don't even do that. So it's a different time. But would you say that Floyd Mayweather era, what he did, the Money Mayweather era, what he did, do you see that influence weighing heavily today in today's culture with fighters ducking and don't want to fight this guy, that guy, and they say they follow the Mayweather blueprint? What you think about that?
It's called low risk, high reward.
Okay.
That was his motto. Low risk, high reward. So a lot of the fighters have embraced that concept of low risk, high reward. And they have to realize that Floyd Mayweather did this at a different time period. He did this during the birth of social media. It's hard to get away with that concept now because everybody's aware that that has already been utilized. And Floyd Mayweather still receives criticism for doing that to this day. So they're not going to be able to take the same route that Floyd Mayweather took during the birth of social media. Floyd Mayweather basically planted the seed, man. He was the one who was able to take advantage of the new platform. That time is come and gone. That's why these fighters can't sell pay-per-views. How much pay-per-views does Devin Haney sell? He don't sell no pay-per-views or anything like that. He's not no big time. It's just like when somebody said that Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson was going to fight. Somebody made up something about Shakur Stevenson turning down $8 million or something. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Back in the days, Coach, when me and you was coming up in the 90s listening to hip-hop, there was this rapper named Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z used to always talk about how much money he got back when he was broke. When he dropped Reasonable Doubt. He was talking about having all kinds of big cars and jewelry and stuff that he was renting back then. He faked it all the way until he made it, man. And that's the concept they're trying to use, but nobody's buying into that stuff, man. Another thing, too, is that the fighters are not as good. I don't care what people say. Kambosos and them are not as good as Ray Mancini, Livingston Bramble, Edwin Rosario, Jose Luis Ramiro, Hector Camacho, Greg Hogan, Vinny Pazienza. All of those fighters, to me, why should I put Tank above Ray Mancini, who has several defenses with a legit belt? Why should I put him as, I'm talking legacy-wise. We're not talking about selling. We're just talking legacy-wise. These guys had to get in there. He had to fight guys like Bobby Chacon and killers like that. Those guys are not fighting each other like that no more, man. Edwin Rosario versus Livingston Bramble and then getting the break speed off of him by Julio Cesar Chavez. This is what the division looked like back then. Hector Camacho getting involved in the whole equation. Pernell Whitaker coming out of the Olympics, man. Even Hilmer Kente, right? The British guy. Freyas and all of them guys, right? All of those guys were very talented fighters that would have multiple belts if they were in the environment from today. These guys don't fight each other like those guys did, man. Livingston Bramble, he had to fight Edwin Rosario. Rosario couldn't duck Julio Cesar Chavez. It would have been nice if he could have. He might have been able to look a little better, right? If he was able to do that. Jim Watt, Alexis Arguello, they was in the equation when it came to lightweight. There was a whole bunch of these guys. Arroyo, Jimmy Paul, all kind of fighters. Bumpus, Johnny Bumpus, Bunt City, all of these guys. These guys all had to fight, man. They didn't make all of these fights happen, but a lot of them did take place.
Okay. Shout out to Jesus. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Chavez didn't want any smoke with Pernell. He just moved on with the draw. Pernell was great. Haney still needs a name like that. Okay. Shout out to Swift 718. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, I hate today's narrative that fighting bums is better for money. Yeah, I totally disagree with that. He said, if you make the biggest fights, that most people want to see, it will make you the most money. And you know what, Blood? He's spot on with that, and I'm going to tell you where I'm going at with this. I think that there's a misperception. You hit the nail right on the head. Floyd Mayweather, what he did was lightning in a bottle. I think the closest thing to what he did is what Tank Davis is doing today, right? That's another lightning in a bottle. But the reality of the situation is this. The only way you're going to make the big money and what makes boxing or any combat sport, but definitely boxing so intriguing, it's the level of competition and the what is it called? The risk. It's the curiosity of the risk. Like, man, it's a risky fight, doggone. Zuma Nelson, man, you 13-0, 14-0 coming from Ghana. You fixing to fight you fixing to fight Salvador Sanchez. Man, but he wanted to take that risk in a 15-rounder. And I think he got, I'm not sure, blood, but I think he got stopped like the 14th or 15th round, something of that sort.
Yep,
but,
he did. Yep, absolutely. Took it on short notice too.
Yeah, on short notice. Yeah, you're right. But that fight, that loss propelled him, and what he did after that made him a legend. It's like, man, this dude was the real deal. But the risk, I think in today's time, what's different is a lot of these fighters, like you say, times have changed. There's a different fan base on social media. The guys that do the least in the sport and that are popular get the most praise. They are looked upon as they get praise like their popularity and their praise for doing the least they get treated as though they are the greats. Like, man, that dude is great. He great because he got 3, 4, 5 million Instagram followers. He's great because you saw him in the club popping bottles. He's great because he knocked out Hobo Sam, Poke Chop Willie, Show That Big Nuts, Chico Stick. He knocked out these guys. He's great because he's the popular guy. He's being marketed very well from his promotional company. So that's what I'm seeing in fighters who are actually at least trying to, hey, I want to fight the tough guys or fight whoever, who's going to help over time. Those guys get frowned upon. And what I love about you and other channels that's out there is it's like you kind of like to, look, man, let's try to bring some order to this shit. This shit don't went a little too far. Have people taken what Floyd Mayweather did, are they trying to implement and taking that philosophy? And it seems to me, blood, that that's what's going on. It's like Floyd with the new social media fan base.
Yeah, because see what it is with the new social media fan base. I was here in the very beginning, man. Basically, it really started around 2005. It started with the boxing websites, and then it expanded onto YouTube. Around 2007 is when it became popular. And guess who was on top at that time? Floyd Mayweather. He was the top dog. He was the pound for pound guy. Roy Jones and them, they were past it at the time. De La Hoya was past it. All the guys from the 1990s were out the gate when social media was established. Pernell Whitaker, all of those guys were pretty much out of it. Bernard Hopkins was barely hanging on. Floyd Mayweather was the fresh name, along with Miguel Cotto, along with Manny Pacquiao. And these guys built a fan base on social media, right? So the social media fan base that you're talking about basically comes from the birth of social media. That's when they got involved in the sport. That's when they placed eyes on Floyd Mayweather. They wasn't watching Pretty Boy Floyd. They weren't watching that guy. They were watching Money Mayweather and how Money Mayweather moves. And that's why you hear these guys today when they talk about money and contracts and this fighter got offered this much and all of that stuff. They come from, they are the guys, the children of the birth of social media boxing. That's why I already know where it comes from.
Hey, I'm laughing.
That's
right
exactly what it
hey,
is.
blood, I'm laughing, right? Because you the one educated me on that. You like, man, I've been doing this shit so long. Back in 2007, this when it took off. I remember I used to watch Casino. And I realized I looked at some old videos. I used to watch you as well, but I didn't realize that was you. Of course I know you now, but I didn't realize that was you. But Casino and all those guys, and Dante's Boxing Nation, I think he came a little after. Ellie Setback, those guys, and I'm like, man, when you said it, I'm like, damn, blood, right? Because you hear some of the same language. Like the fans today, they're gonna talk about contracts. Yeah, man, my fighter deserves the lion's share. I'm like, these are Floyd Money Mayweather talking points. It's the same shit he used to always say. And I'm like, even in 2023, his talking points have a It's really influential today. Like the fans go to becoming managers. They negotiating. Yeah, man, tell Blood Boxing. Yeah, as a matter of fact, his last pay-per-view only did 200,000. Well, my fighter, he sold out the Barclays Center, or he sold out the USF Sundome, and he got a Rollie, he got a Bentley, he got about 5 tenderonis. He in the strip club. He more popular. He got more Instagram followers. So just based on that alone, my fighter deserves 80% of the pot. You deserve 20%. And dudes will be on lives for 8, 9, 10, 11 hours arguing, debating while broke at their own homes where they live at about big money that they don't never see. I'm like, what the fuck these niggas talking about? So that came from Floyd, huh?
It came from Floyd Mayweather, man. It came from the birth of social media. Because think about it, Coach. When me and you was watching boxing in the 80s, we didn't have money conversations about these fighters. When Pernell Whitaker was fighting Greg Hogan, we didn't talk about who got the lion's share of the split. I mean, the shit was ridiculous. The only discussion that I could really remember that kind of made it to TV a little bit was Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones, because Bernard Hopkins made it known that he had some problems with the split being offered when he was on TV. But there was no platform to talk about this on a daily basis. Right. And plus, those fans that exist now, they weren't in existence back then. We saw how the fan bases changed. Social media changed it. And that's why you have all these guys on here talking about money and purse splits and all of that stuff right now. It's because of Floyd Mayweather, pretty much.
Devin Haney, him and Regis Prograis are going to fight. I think this is going to happen. I want to say December. I gotta sit back and really look at this fight. What I do like about Devin Haney, Blood, he's a very defensively sound fighter. He's a safe fighter. He controls the distance and range pretty well. I don't think that Regis Prograis has the footwork of a Vasily Lomachenko, but I do admire. I respect what Devin Haney has done thus far. I do agree. He does have a lot more work to do, but right now he's looking pretty good. I think the politics of boxing today, he won't be able to get a lot of those fights, like the names like the Tank Davises, maybe the Teofimo Lopez's and stuff, because of the political climate today, and like you said, a lot of fighters have more options. There are more belts out there. The criteria has changed, obviously. We have people like a Jamal Charlo, and I like Jamal Charlo, but I criticize him a lot, but I like him. But we have people like a Jamal Charlo. He can hold on to a belt for over 2 years and not get stripped and still be a champion. But I do see that Mauricio Suleiman, from what I'm reading on the report, he's mandating Canelo to fight David Benavidez next year. That's whoever holds the WBC belt, because there's no guarantee he's going to beat Jamal Charlo. Get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but if he beats Jamal Charlo, that's going to be mandated. And so some people are like, man, okay, how are you going to mandate Canelo to fight Benavidez, which a lot of people feel that Canelo's been ducking, but you're not doing the same for Jamal Charlo, and he hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. So what I guess what I'm trying to say, as it relates to the sanctioning bodies, what kind of change did you, from a political standpoint, from the sanctioning bodies in today's time?
Oh, the sanctioning bodies. Well, first of all, there's more sanctioning bodies. The sanctioning bodies, I think the IBF kind of follows their plan. But what they do is they exercise their rules, and it's fight specific. It's not nothing that's across the board. So what's good for one fighter might not be good for another guy, such as Jamal Charlo. He might get to keep his belt for 2 years, and then another fighter would get stripped or placed in recess. There's no guidelines that are solid. And people like to make that comparison all the time, but they have to realize that this stuff is fight specific. Like, for instance, they would say, well, Terrence Crawford won't get stripped of his belts if he fights at 154 because Canelo didn't get stripped of his belts when he moved up and fight Bivol. But it's fighter specific. There is no guidelines that protect these fighters that are solid. You get the belt for this time. If you're inactive for this amount of days and specific guidelines, this is the way it's going to be. You're going to get stripped or you're going to get placed in recess. They do everything different for each fighter, man. Everything is done differently for each fighter. And it's always been that way. We're just dealing with more sanctioning bodies now. The sanctioning bodies' heads have changed. They're not the same as they was back in the day. You had Suleiman's dad, you had Lee, and you had all them guys. Before you had Daryl Peoples. So the sanctioning body, the names at the top have changed since back then. So they're doing things a little bit differently than what they did back then.
It seemed to me, Blood, that the WBC, I don't know, maybe they're the most popular sanctioning body. I wanted to say powerful. It seemed like they're the most powerful sanctioning body, but that might be a wrong choice of words. Because I don't know which sanctioning body has more power, but there's a perception that, the WBC, that's a prestigious belt, of course.
Comes from Floyd Mayweather, bro.
You talking about the green belt? The
green belt concept comes from Floyd Mayweather. He's the one who told them that the green belt was more powerful. But what did we call the WBC back when we was coming up? We Be Crooks, right?
Yeah, it's always been We Be Crooks.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
We Be Crooks.
That was under Jose. That was under Jose Sulaiman, the father.
Yes. Yeah, and the WBA at one time, the sanctioning body is as powerful as the person toting the belt. Because when Carlos Monzon was pissed off at the WBC, he went around and said that the WBA was the elite belt. It was the original belt that developed from the NBA. So it's as powerful as the fighter that's toting the belt. That's as far as it goes. And if Floyd Mayweather was repping for the WBA and he was going around saying the WBA is the original belt, it came from the NBA, the social media fans would be saying that the WBA is the more powerful belt.
Maurice, there's something that you said, and what I don't like, my criticism of the WBC is this, and I want to specifically single out the WBC, Blood. Like you said, there doesn't seem like there's a standard rule for them. It's like they make the rules up as they go along, or they pick and choose when they want to enforce the rules. And there's no standard. Like there's no, okay, one rule, everybody has to abide by this rule. The WBC do stand for We Be Crooks. What Don King was promoting, I heard, we learned that Don King, had a lot of control over different sanctioning bodies. Bob Arum to this day do. Yeah. These sanctioning bodies can be manipulated by the power brokers of boxing, whether you are an advisory company or a promotional company, hell, or maybe even a network. I don't know about the network aspect of it, but maybe that. So, but like it's always been corrupt. It is what it is. It's not going to change. But I think that now that we have more belts, it makes a lot of things more confusing. For me, Blood, it's hard for me to call someone who has a title a champion. Now it's like I say, you know what? You are a title holder because of the criteria is different today, but you are a title holder. The only way you can really be notarized as a champion, I guess, unless you end up winning the lineal title as well, or if you become undisputed in this very difficult era to do that. So, but, you guys are just, because everybody's a champion. Rolly Romero, it could be considered a champion because he got a WBA super belt at 140. Like, come on, man. Yep. Like, so am I looking at it wrong? Or
no, you're looking at it right. Rolly Romero, Adrian Broner's a 5-time champ. He's not a legendary fighter that could be compared to great fighters from the past. I mean, these guys place whoever they want. They have all kind of problems with the networks, with the promotional outfits, with certain fighters not wanting to fight each other. They try to hide in the politics. But when two fighters really want to fight each other, man, it happens.
It's amazing.
Really it happens.
It's amazing you said that because I remember I was looking at an interview that Crawford did not recently, and he said that when he was having difficulty negotiating, to get the fight with Al Heyman, he just said fuck it and reached out to Errol Spence. And but he said that on the interview, he said that a lot of those fighters, when they talk to their boss, he said, well, really, they don't have a boss. Those fighters are their own bosses, but some guys choose to hide behind their advisor, the guy that works with them. What I was saying, and I asked this question: do the fighter work for the advisor, or do the advisor work for the fighter? So, and what made me pose that question, Blood, is when I hear a fighter say, call this guy or call that guy. I'm not saying a promoter. I know the promoters are very powerful, but we're talking about quote unquote an advisor. okay, you advised me this and that. Errol Spence made this fight, really push it forward to make this fight happen because Crawford reached out to him, spoke to him, and he didn't hide behind Al Heyman, anymore. He was like, okay, I'm going to handle it. Because he was advised to fight Keith Thurman, and he went against that advice, made the fight happen. We know what happened. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is this. The power brokers in boxing, they do seem like they control a lot of stuff. The politics that's going on today, it seemed that some of the fights not getting made. Now, right now, the PBC is hot as cat grease. They're making all of the fights, the big fights, and I love it. At the end of the day, as a boxing fan, we just want to see the fights. Do you believe that, just like we have criticisms of the sanctioning bodies and stuff like that, they could make things a lot easier? Do you feel that they can also be helpful if they just enforce their rules, or what would you suggest that a sanctioning body do in order to help make the sport a little bit better from the best fight and the best standpoint?
Well, the sanctioning bodies, man, you remember when Errol Spence was going around asking where does all this money go and all that kind of stuff like that? The sanctioning bodies got to make money too. They're nonprofit, but they have to make money. And I think that sometimes when they unify things like that, they feel as though there's too much hands in the pot, because really the real reason why the different sanctioning bodies always came about, when the WBA basically evolved and went from the NBA to the WBA, the WBC, a lot of those people, some of the guys who were involved in that were former employees of the WBA. And then the IBF, those guys were former employees of both sanctioning bodies, and so was the WBO. So I think that their concept is that, hey, let's try to keep the money over here with this sanctioning body. They could make things a lot easier, but I think that a lot of the fighters, too, they don't want to take risks. So when it's convenient for them, they'll hide in the politics and say that, we can't do it because of the sanctioning body or because of the promotional outfit. The sanctioning bodies don't really have no rules, bro. They don't have no guidelines, because I used to look into their handbook years ago and I used to present it to the public. And there was always some kind of loophole to where they could change their rules based on some kind of a meeting or something like that. If they could make it, they could twist it however they want to twist it. The sanctioning bodies can make things easier if they had valid ranking systems, kind of like what Dana White has over. Now I have to bring MMA into it, but he runs a valid ranking system in the UFC. The sanctioning bodies don't have no valid ranking systems. I don't even know how half of those guys got into the ranking system. I could actually pull up ranking systems right now where we have a whole top 10 and not one of those guys has fought another guy in the top 10. I've been talking about it for years. So they don't really have any rules. Their ranking system, I don't really have any respect whatsoever for their ranking system, and nor does any other old school fight fan. The only thing they could do really to really help is to have a valid ranking system as far as the sanctioning bodies. The promoters and everything else, that's something different. The sanctioning bodies need to have a valid ranking system.
And how do you establish a valid ranking system? Do you do it by these? Okay, let's say you have a Tank Davis. Let's just say Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko. That's an overall consensus. These guys are the top guys. They're very talented, whatever the case may be. Those you would have it to where, okay, these guys have to fight each other, mix it up, so we can see who's who. Is that what you're saying?
You have to enforce, and I knew you were going to that next. You have to enforce mandatories like they did back in the day, right? If these fighters now, here's where the sanctioning bodies has lost power. They could enforce a mandatory, and the fighter will say, man, fuck this, I'll just go over to the IBF. Shit, they could even put their belt on the line, right? And the fighter might not even want that. Look at Frank Martin. Frank Martin said, okay, I had a shot at a belt, but I could get a belt anywhere else. So they don't have a lot of power anymore, the sanctioning bodies. They don't have the power they had 20 and 30 years ago.
Hey guys,
and that all has to do with social media and a lot of other issues.
Hey guys, we gotta get the lights up. I want to drop the phone line so you guys can call in and ask Blood any kind of question you want, me or Blood. We gotta get the lights up. We need over 200 for me to drop the phone lines. Damn, Blood, you just said some real shit, man, because now, like you said, I think the difference is back in the 80s and whatever, 70s, 80s, coming up through the 90s, when a fighter got the opportunity to fight for a title, which, you fight for a title, you're going to make more money. But if you become a champion, you make more money because now you're a champion. But in today's time, you'll have fighters you can force a mandatory. We just saw with Shakur Stevenson. WBC mandated Eastside Pitbull Cruz to fight Shakur Stevenson last year, I think October, November at the WBC convention. He turned it down. Shakur had like 3 fighters turn him down before he landed on this 4th fighter. I'm saying fights that were mandated. So I think maybe 3 fighters that was like, nah, fuck that, I'm done. I don't, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of fucked up, in my opinion.
Hey, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Can I go back to something with Devin Haney, okay?
Go ahead.
I want to go into something with Devin Haney, and this applies to Devin Haney, this applies to Tank Davis, and this applies to Teofimo Lopez. These guys are saying that they want to be compared to the Whitakers, to the Mayweathers, to the De La Hoyas, to the Durants and guys like that. Okay, so 140 pounds has never really been, it's always been kind of one of those stepping stone divisions, right? Mosley and Durant, they totally skipped the 140-pound division. Whitaker, De La Hoya, and Mayweather didn't stay there long. So when it comes to Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Tank Davis, they have 3 options to be compared to ATGs. They could make a brief stop at 140 pounds, like Whitaker, De La Hoya, and Mayweather did. They could totally skip it, like Shane Mosley and Roberto Duran did, or they could set up shop, like Aaron Pryor did with 8 defenses, like Julio Cesar Chavez did, who defined his career at 140 pounds with 12 defenses before losing to Frankie Randall, get the belt back, and then do 4 more defenses, I think it was. Or Acosta Zoo, the fighter of the late 90s, who set up shop at 140 pounds, had the unification bout with Samba Mitchell. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, I think for sure are going to outgrow the 140-pound division. There's only 3 champions in the last 50 years that stood out at 140 pounds, and that's Aaron Pryor, Julio Cesar Chavez, and Costa Zoo. So if they want to be compared to those guys, then they're going to have all the kind of defenses they had. Costa Zoo had 12 defenses. Aaron Pryor had 8 of them. Drugs got him out of the business. Chavez had, 16 or 17 of these defenses. So if they want to be compared to that group of guys, they have to set up shop and they have to rule in the division. Even if they don't become undisputed, they have to have a nice reign, right? A nice reign. A reign is what got Calzaghe as being discussed as one of the greatest super middleweights to ever live. Was he ever undisputed? No. Undisputed is not enough. You have to have some kind of a valid reign. Oscar De La Hoya, Whitaker, and Mayweather, they skipped over 140 after a brief stop. De La Hoya, he only went there really to fight Julio Cesar Chavez. Whitaker fought Rafael Pineda just to add it to his legacy. Mayweather went there for a money fight with Arturo Gatti. And then they moved up to 147 pounds. So what I see in the future for Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez is 147 pounds. With Terrence Crawford coming out of the gate, they would have to go up there and they would have to make some noise and then have some kind of a valid reign similar to what Mayweather and De La Hoya and Whitaker had.
No, a lot of people talk bad about Oscar, about his personal life, fishnets, cocaine, all that stuff there, high heels, and all of that is valid. You're out in public, you're going to be open to public scrutiny. But as a fighter, Oscar De La Hoya, man, and I'm being honest, I didn't like Oscar De La Hoya. I'm not going to say it. I didn't like him. I thought he was I didn't like him because, you know what? I didn't have a problem with him, but the Pernell Whitaker fight, I was bad back then, blood. You beat one of the more fighters that I'm crazy about, it's the hell with you. So, the Pernell Whitaker fight did it for me, but all jokes aside, man, Oscar De La Hoya, he didn't duck no smoke. He fought everybody. He fought fights that he didn't have to fight. He fought fighters that he could have easily ducked because of the position that he was in. I think he was a cash cow at that time. He was a pay-per-view star at that time. He was the golden boy. But he could have used his golden boy status, to dance around not fighting the tough fights. He fought the tough fights, man, and he didn't have to. I take my hat off to him, bro.
Me too. He fought. There was no reward. There was no, when you talk about risk and reward, there was no reward for fighting Ike Cortez.
Yeah,
So,
Ike Cortez.
he didn't have to take that fight.
Yeah, Ike Cortez, he was a bad boy. So a lot of the guys now, as a matter of fact, hold on, Blood. Hey, we got the phone lines finna drop right now. Blood, let's get some phone calls, because I got a couple of dudes. People want to call the show. Phone lines open, guys. 530-494-9636. If you want to talk to Blood Boxing, ask him many questions. This is my main man. This is my guy. Y'all hit me up. 530-494-9636. What we're going to do, we're going to go take a short station identification break. And after the break, we're going to come back and we are going to, y'all call the show, man. Talk to my main man, Blood, man. Anybody hate watching, don't want to hit the like button? Riley, get him.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck-mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
All right, Blood, we got a call calling in. We got a caller calling in right now. Hold on, my brother.
Okay.
Let's see what's up. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Curtis from Long Beach.
Curtis from Long Beach. Talk to me, fam. Go ahead.
Just based on the conversation,
Hold on. Damn.
Call from
Hold on,
Jerry.
man. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that, Blood. I hung up. Hey, Curtis from Long Beach. Call back, fam. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Jerry. I'm calling from Detroit.
Jerry from Detroit. Talk to me.
Yeah. This doesn't really have to do with what y'all was talking about today, but it's on my head. You know about bare knuckle boxing, don't you?
Yes, I watched. I did a fight part on bare knuckle boxing. I'm not well versed on it, but I know about it.
Okay, cool. I'm getting into it. My favorite MMA fighter had moved over there, but I was wondering, like, dang, who do you think would translate at 147? Who do you think would translate the best over to BKFC?
Nobody, because ain't nobody going over there. They don't make no money.
No. I'm not saying that they shouldn't go over there, but I'm saying, as far as fighting style, who do you think will work the best over there?
I don't know, man. You mean fighters?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I would, if I was to take a wild guess, I'd probably say Roland Romero, maybe. Roland Romero, Big Rolly. He has that. He has a. He got a judo background or whatever. I don't know. Maybe Rolly, man. I don't know. That's a. I don't know. I haven't even thought about that, fam. To be honest with you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I was just wondering, but you know what I'm saying.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry. Salute, fam. Yeah, bare knuckle boxing. I did a fight party on that one night because, one time because, I just wanted to do something and I ain't, I'm not well versed in the blood. Devin Haney, what do you think about Teofimo Lopez?
Like I said earlier, man, I like Teofimo Lopez. I wouldn't compare him to any great fighters at this time. He did a great job against Josh Taylor. He fell a little short against Kambosos. Mm-hmm. He didn't seem to always have his head right mentally. He hasn't always had his head right mentally, but he's a talented fighter. He can do some of everything. He has fast hands, quick reflexes. I like him. I just have to see more of him.
Carla, what's the name? Where you calling from?
It's Curtis from Long Beach. My bad.
Curtis from Long Beach. No, that wasn't your fault. That was my fault. I hung up on you on accident. Go ahead.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. The thing that I can respect the most about Devin Haney, I know today's topic is about him. His energy didn't change no matter who had those belts. When Lomachenko had the belt, he said he wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who had the belts, he said he wanted them.
and he fought whoever had the belts. And I think that's that's one thing that people don't give him credit for. And, you know, when Teofimo had 3 other belts and he had the WBC belt, he wanted to fight Teofimo. He lost. Kambosos got the belt. That's not his fault. He wanted the belt, and he did what he said he was going to do. And that's what I love about Devin Haney. I think no matter who had those belts, he was going to fight him. You know, whereas in reverse, when he got the belt, nobody wanted the belt. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted him until Shakur came up there and said he was going to fight him on his way out. And then he got the belt. They didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing that people need to give Devin Haney credit for, but they don't give him credit for when a lot of these dudes, when somebody gets the belt, Mike Kambosos, for example, and he got those belts.
It's hard to understand you, man. I don't know if you got a Bluetooth phone or what.
But nothing don't happen when Devin Haney got the belt. They didn't want to fight Devin Haney. So that's one of the things that I give him credit for. And as far as like the discussion at 140, I think there's other fighters that did things there. Like I'll give Tim Bradley credit for going to England and beating Ritter, unifying with Holt and Devin Alexander. Like he fought some good fights and he had a nice reign there. And I give Crawford credit. Outside of that, we just got to see what everybody else do. But I think Devin Haney gets shitted on unfairly, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he'll fight everybody. I just think everybody don't want to fight him.
Yeah, I think
outside of Shakur, I think Shakur are gonna fight.
Yeah, I mean, I like Devin Haney's trajectory. I like what Teofimo has done thus far as well. So, would you anything you want to say on that, Blood? I know you probably couldn't hear him.
No, I heard what he said, man. I like the fact that he brought up Timothy Bradley when he fought Junior Witter. That was a pretty good thing. I give Timothy Bradley salute to Timothy Bradley, man. You know, the thing about it is that there's some fighters out there that Devin Haney hasn't fought. He hasn't fought Tank Davis, and he hasn't fought Shakur Stevenson, and those are high-demand fights, man. But you know, he's in the right direction. He's moving in the right direction, and me and Coach, I don't think Coach said it either. We both said that we respect Devin Haney. We just don't think he should be compared to the legendary fighters at this time. He has more work to do. That's not shitting on Devin Haney.
Yeah, No, I'm not saying y'all shitting on him. I'm just saying in general, you know, he gets talked about bad, and, you know, and I love Devin Haney because his energy doesn't change. Whatever direction he's going in, his energy doesn't change no matter who's in that path. You know what I'm saying? So I think if Shakur had one of those belts, he would have fought Shakur. You know, that's just the way I think about it. But Shakur at the time is a challenger coming in with just a name, you know, but he doesn't have much to offer outside of that. So that's why I think that fight didn't happen. Lomachenko was a bigger name, and he had more of a legacy, so that's why he fought Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he would get all that credit for that. As far as Tank goes, I don't think Tank is trying to fight anybody, so I can't knock Devin Haney for Tank not fighting him. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll fight Shakur. I don't see Tank fighting either one of those guys, you know what I'm saying, unless he's forced to, like the Mayweather Pacquiao situation where, you know, you have CBS saying that, hey, we going to take action if y'all don't fight. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see Tank fighting anybody unless he's forced to, because he said out his own mouth he ain't asking to fight him.
Okay. All right, shout out to Curtis from Long Beach, man. Salute, fam. Thank you for calling the show. Shout out to Ron Boy Fresh. Hey, okay. For being a member for 19 months, man. Salute, fam. He said ICAT to become the WBC Mando by dropping his WBA. I'm not gonna, Ron. I don't know. I'm not gonna say a lie to you. I don't know. I don't know what the politics went behind. I guess he's talking about Ike Corte.
He's talking about Ike Corte, yes.
Yeah, Ike Corte. You know,
yeah,
so
he's correct. Yeah.
You know what I don't get, Blood? What these sanctioning bodies do, from what I'm seeing, what I don't like is, let's say you're ranked in one sanctioning body and you're ranked in another sanctioning body. You have a sanctioning body like the WBA. Okay, if you get a title or some kind of belt over there with the WBC or IBF, we're gonna remove you from our rankings. I don't understand that. What's the purpose of that?
It's been that way for several decades, Coach. There was a time, man, like back in the day when the fighters would have both. For instance, when the middleweights split and you had Monzon having one belt and Rodrigo Valdez having another belt, Rodrigo Valdez would be number one for Carlos Monzon belt and vice versa. Monzon would be, at some point, the sanctioning bodies, and it happened in the 80s, decided that they wanted to remove champions from the other sanctioning body. And I think it's a money thing. But I do know it happened in the 1980s, though, where they decided to remove champions from out of the other sanctioning body from their ranking system.
So I think that can be an issue with, okay, maybe we can't get certain fights. Like we saw that happen with recently, from what I remember, with Jaron Ennis. I think he was number 2 in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz got removed somehow, whatever. Jaron Ennis is going to be. No, you know what? That ain't what happened. Jaron Ennis is ranked number 2 in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz turned down a shot to fight Terrence Crawford. I have the actual video that the guy, I forgot the president's name of the WBO. He was on the Boxing Voice. I saved the video because I said, just in case somebody wanted to debate me on it. I think his name was Paco. He was on the Boxing Voice, and he said no. When Virgil Ortiz was number 1, we did offer him that fight, and his team said he wasn't ready yet or whatever. He said no, and then they was going to go to the next guy. But I think Jaron Ennis ended up going the IBF route. He fought some dude named Cassio Clayton or whatever from Canada. He ended up getting like some kind of trinket, some kind of title, IBF, Intercontinental belt, and the WBO removed him. So I didn't understand why they did that, but I'm glad you explained it to me. Yeah, they've been doing it for several decades. I didn't even realize they was doing that, to be fair. I didn't realize that, Blood.
It's hard for these sanctioning bodies to work together, man. I don't think they just like the unification. I don't think they really like unifying. They'll do it and they'll make because I know when Terrence Crawford was going to unify with Ndongo, they wanted Terrence Crawford to fight Sergey Lipinets in the IBF, and fan pressure basically made that fight happen. They didn't want to unify with the other sanctioning bodies. Daryl Peoples and them guys didn't want to do it, and that was recent. So I think it's a competitive thing. It has to do with money and things like that. Because they do get they get money for these fighters. It's supposed to be nonprofit, but they get money for their champions and things like that. And it has something to do with money, man. You know what? That would be a better question for maybe a Glazier or somebody like that.
Wouldn't it be okay? So what is it that the fighters could do? Let's say somebody like a Tank, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, like all of these guys know each other. All of these guys are friends. They've been knowing each other a while. None of these guys hate each other. But is there a way that the fighters can say, you know what, man, fuck these sanctioning bodies, fuck the belts, forget all of that. What we gonna do? We've been knowing each other for a long time. Let's go ahead and make our own fight. Let's fight each other. Let's go ahead and fight each other.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They don't want to fight each other because it's a high risk fight, man. Mm. They want to take they want to take the easiest path they can. All the fighters from every era knew each other. Mm. Ray Leonard and all of them guys, Donald Curry, all these guys knew each other in the amateurs. Mm. There's never been an era in boxing where the fighters didn't know each other because they had to meet each other in the amateurs and Golden Gloves and all that kind of stuff, the national Golden Gloves. So they always knew each other, man. Ain't nothing changed. It's always been the case. And the guys from back then, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler, these guys competed in like 3 or 4 different amateur tournaments. They were in different weight classes, but they knew each other from them amateur tournaments. They knew each other long before they fought. All these guys always knew each other, man.
Carla, hold on.
Do they want to fight?
Okay.
All right, Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie from New York. Talk to me, fam.
Hey, Coach, how you doing, bro?
Doing good.
Hey, Blood. All right, good, man. Real quick, Coach. Blood, he mentioned Jose Luis Ramirez several times, and I want to run something by you guys, man. Nobody talks about that dude. And let me tell you, man, I remember growing up in the early 80s, before Chavez, he was the man in Mexico. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blood. Let me tell you, right. I remember Chavez had to go through it. Chavez had to go through him. And, Coach, when they fought, I don't know if it was mid-80s or late 80s,
it was late 80s, 88.
Had over 100 wins. 88, that's right, 88. Blood, that man had over 100 wins, bro. And he's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez. You see what I'm saying? So, Coach,
I agree with what you guys saying, man, because the reason I'm calling in is because they don't make him like they used to nowadays. These guys want to be compared to the old-time greats, and they're not even putting in the work. That guy, bro, he was a monster. And I think he also had 82 knockouts when he fought Chavez. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, man, I respect you, bro. Your boxing knowledge, man, is awesome. I consider myself a boxing, historian myself. And when I listen to you talk, bro, man, you're the real deal, bro. Respect. And Coach, man, you too, man. You're good for boxing. And keep us going to work, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I got to get my brother on here every week, man. I want to do a weekly segment with him. Blood boxing is very educational.
Yeah,
man,
bro. He knows his shit, man. He knows. And so do you, man. You guys doing good work.
All right,
respect, man. Respect, right, brother. All right.
From New York, yeah. Yeah, Blood know his shit now. What happens is, I think what happens to Blood is in the land of casuals, you have a lot of people, they will become, I would say they would probably try to dismiss someone like yourself who has a wealth of boxing knowledge. Knowledge is frowned upon in this era. You know what I mean? So, because, you know what you know, Carlo, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, brother? This Coach Eddie from the ATL.
Man, Coach Eddie from ATL, talk to me, fam.
Yes, sir. I have a question, maybe a 2 or 3 part question. Maybe I can get both of you guys to chime in, or you can let Blood answer, whoever wants to answer it.
But, yeah, go ahead and ask Blood. Ask Blood the question.
Okay, Blood. Do you think I'm doing good, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, my brother.
Okay. Do you think that Canelo Alvarez's career could be duplicated by any one of these upcoming champions? And the reason why I say that, because Canelo had the luxury of fighting, the past legends like the Shane Mosley, who were proven dogs. He fought Cotto was proven dogs. He's got a lot of good names on his resume, but they may not have been in their prime when he fought them, but they still were like old gladiators that had carried a lot of weight in boxing. And now the new champions don't have that luxury of fighting any old champions that carry that much weight, because their accomplishments aren't very well. Like Shane Mosley, he fought a guy like Vernon Forrest. He fought Winky Wright. He fight guys that were really, really good fighters. So when you beat a Shane Mosley, it carried a lot of weight. But when you beat a Miguel Cotto, it carried a lot of weight. I don't think these younger fighters that have come up today have that same luxury, because those champions are no longer available for them to fight to get that type of weight. That question makes sense.
The question absolutely makes sense. And I'm going to tell you, man, I think I have a pretty good answer for you. I think it's going to be hard to do, because when you take Canelo Alvarez, and you mentioned 3 of the legends he fought Miguel Cotto, he fought Shane Mosley, and he fought Floyd Mayweather. Those guys had established themselves before that 2007 YouTube era. Floyd Mayweather had already established himself as Pretty Boy. Cotto had already established himself. By the time the social media platform came into play, Cotto had already been a world champion, a young world champion at that time. He used to rehydrate a lot back in the day, but we remember Miguel Cotto right before that 2007 period. And then we all know about Shane Mosley's lightweight run in the late 1990s, and then defeating Oscar De La Hoya, right? He fought De La Hoya twice. So a lot of that stuff happened before all these internet politics came into play. So he got to establish himself against the fine legends that made their name before the internet era. The legends that are coming now, they're playing they're playing politics. They're playing branding. They're doing stuff that, because Mosley and these guys and Cotto, they didn't start out with the branding thing. Mayweather, he was kind of like, you got to look at the pretty boy version of Floyd Mayweather, who wanted to fight everybody. There was people who were ducking Floyd Mayweather. They didn't want to fight him. Casamayor didn't want to fight with this guy. So it's going to be really hard for these fighters now to establish themselves, because they're not going to have those kind of names available. That's a great point that you made right there. And I never really thought about it like that. But that's a great point that Coach makes right here, Coach.
Yeah, Coach Eddie, that I mean, that is a good point. And the thing is, from what I'm seeing, Canelo has the benefit of Canelo's kind of like, I think he's the last of that old era to me. What I mean by that, Coach Eddie, is like Blood said, he fought doggone Miguel Cotto. He fought Sugar Shane Mosley. He fought Floyd Mayweather. And so he's kind of like a carryover from that tail end of those guys' career. And he's, a well-known name now. The fear is a lot of these fighters now, whenever Canelo retires or go, like who's going to be that guy that's going to get those signature or legacy fights? In today's era, you got guys, they hide behind boxing politics, so, but go ahead, Coach Eddie, you got any other questions?
Yeah, so like I say, you don't have guys like Vernon Forrest. It's like, like Shane Mosley took a killer on, like Vernon Forrest was a killer. And you got your Mayorgas. You had all those guys. They may not have been, those top tier guys. They were tough fights. So you had your Burt Coopers. You had your Ray Mercers. You had your Tommy the Duke Morrisons. All these tough fights that you wasn't guaranteed to get past. And these guys don't have that option because everybody now is just kind of fugazi. The skills not there. The criteria is not there. They don't have the boxing knowledge. And not only that, a lot of those old boxers that we talking about had old trainers. These guys now just got pad men who think they know boxing. That's what they got. They got pad men.
Hey, go ahead, Blood.
It's not even a question. What Coach is saying is true. This is not a question. This is a point that you're making that's a valid point and that's actually true. I mean, there's no argument against that point that you made. None. Because even if you take the fighters now, the Vernon Forrest and all of those guys, Canelo Alvarez could never be a Shane Mosley. He could never be a Miguel Cotto, and he could never be a Floyd Mayweather because Canelo Alvarez made his presence on social media platform the whole time. The fighters you're talking about, Burt Cooper and Ray Mercer and all of them, is before the Brandon era. So what you're saying is just a point. There is no question there. There's nothing to question about what you said. It's just a fact.
Thanks.
All right, shout out to Coach Eddie, man. ATL, stand up, man. Salute, fam.
Thank y'all. Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? He said they just pad me. Hey, Blood. You know what?
You ain't lying.
Hey, you know what I thought about? When they be showing Floyd Mayweather, him and RIP to Roger Mayweather, and he's sitting there hitting the pass, and everybody like he blocking with the shoulder and stuff like that, doing this and doing. It looks so pretty, choreographed so well. And I'm gonna tell you a true story. This is my first time telling this story. I'm in LA. I interviewed Buddy McGirt. It was me, Buddy McGirt, Steve Kim. And we was at I want to say the Brick House gym in LA. It was either the Brick House or another gym, I forgot. But Buddy McGirt say he had a fighter. You gonna laugh at this shit right here. Fighter came up to him. He said, "Yeah, man, I want you to train me, man. I want to know, can you do the pads? Can you do the pads like Floyd Mayweather? Can you teach me how to hit the pads like Floyd Mayweather?" Right? That's what he said, right? He said, "Can you teach me how to hit the pads like?" It was a young fighter, of course. He said, "Can you teach me how to hit the pads? Do you know how to do you know how to work the pads how Floyd do and stuff like that?" Buddy McGirt say, "Do you know how to fight like Floyd?" He said, "Do you know how to fight like Floyd?" He said the dude was stuck. He said, "Young man, listen. He say, all that pretty stuff you see Floyd and Roger do and stuff like that, he say, Floyd don't fight in the ring like that. Show me a fight where Floyd was hitting him and Roger hitting pads and they doing this and looking real pretty and Floyd looking beautiful. And you see a lot of fighters, they replicating that right now. The Tank Davidsons, the Shakur Stevensons, not the Shakur Stevensons, the Devin Haneys, stuff like that. I seen Devin Haney do it and yada, 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 yada. He say, "Man, listen, he say, listen, when have you ever seen Floyd go in the ring and fight exactly the way he hit the pads?" He say, "You don't." He say, he asked me, he say, "Do you know how to fight like, can you fight like Floyd?" He asked the guy, can you work the pads like Floyd, like Floyd Mayweather, Roger Mayweather? And Buddy McGirt say, "Do you know how to fight like Floyd?" You know what I'm saying?
All that is a chemistry between two world champions. Roger Mayweather had really quick reflexes and was a world champion. He had fast hands himself.
Yeah.
If you ask Roger Mayweather when he was alive, he said, "Hey, I was just as fast as Floyd." So when you get these two guys together, they doing all that pretty stuff and all that. It looks good from two guys who are two of the fastest guys who got some fast hands.
Yeah, it look pretty.
They don't get into the ring and actually transfer that into the ring, though. That's the good point that Buddy McGirt made. Yeah, man, you guys can't beat Floyd Mayweather, man. Get out of here with that stuff, man.
It look real pretty. And now listen, check this out. To a casual someone who just coming into boxing, just watching, it like, man, you know, damn, boy, you see how he hitting them pads? Boy, I'm telling you, boy, he got hands. He look real pretty, boy. Ain't nobody gonna be able to whoop him. It doesn't, you know, no, you hitting the pads real good doesn't translate in you being able, when you get in the ring, you gonna be unbeatable. You know, it look real. I ain't gonna lie, it do look pretty though. It look real pretty, blood. You got
it
to
does
admit
look
that.
pretty.
You
know, Floyd Mayweather Sr. was the one who started that with Floyd. And it's really funny because there used to be this fighter named Juan Guzman back in the day. I think he works in the corner of Jamel Charlo now.
Yeah, Juan
Guzman used to outdo his pad man all the time. He was too fast for his mitt man. So when he got Floyd Mayweather Sr. and it was like a relief for him, and you started seeing all that pretty stuff. But it's not only Mayweather. You got to know how to do you got to know how to work the mitts like that too, though.
Yeah, you gotta know how to work the mitts. And, block with the shoulder. I remember when Floyd started doing like the shoulder roll and stuff like that. You know, of course, he learned from his dad and the Philly shell and stuff like that. And I remember some of the fighters that Floyd had over there at Mayweather Promotions. I think he had Samba Mitchell. Did he have Samba Mitchell? No, he had what the dude name, man? Jayleon Love. He had Jayleon Love.
Oh yeah,
Jayleon Love was that guy, but I think he was supposed to be the next guy. This before they got Tank Davis, of course. And then he ended up getting beat. I think he got knocked out by Porky Medina or something of that sort.
He got beat up. He had the guy who's a cruiserweight now too. What's the French guy? The French cruiserweight.
I forgot,
man. French cruiserweight. I can't think of his name either.
I can't think of his name, bro.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. He's got a belt right now, and I can't think of his damn name, man.
Hey, bro, the funniest part about that, I'll never forget that fight. Booger Ray Leonard was in the audience. Floyd Mayweather was in the audience. They had some bad tenderonis in between them, too. Some bad tenderonis. And Jayleon Love, when I think he got caught with a left hook. He got caught with a left hook. And the guy came back and he just fell out on his face planted, right? What I remembered about that fight, blood, his mom ran to the ring. She ran to the ring.
I know what you're talking about.
She was beating on the mat. She was like, no, get up. She would tell him to get up. And I never seen that like this. He had his hand on the rope trying to get up, and she was trying to help him. The referee right there, Floyd Mayweather looking crazy. Booger Ray Leonard like, man, no, this nigga. And he was fighting the Mexican. I'm like, man, this right here, bro. But that was the funniest shit. His mama ran to the ring, beating on the mat. It seemed like she was like, you messing up the bag. You messing up it was one of those, like, damn, it wasn't like she was concerned for her son, but she was telling him to get up. She was telling him to get up.
I know what you're talking about. Hey, Badu Jack was that guy.
Badu Jack.
Badu Jack.
Badu Jack. Yeah. You're right. Badu Jack just beat he beat the dude from Africa. I forgot his name. The one who Canelo was supposed to move up with the fight. What's that guy name, guys?
I can't think of his name either, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, somebody gonna drop it in the chat. Somebody, because Canelo was supposed to fight him at cruiserweight, but then what's his name? Malibu? No, it's Makabu. His name is Makabu.
That's it.
Makabu.
That's it right there.
Makabu.
That's it.
Yeah, Makabu. Yeah, Makabu. Yeah, Makabu. So Badu Jack looked great in that fight. Man, you know what, blood? I'm sitting here tripping, man. The phone been ringing. It's right here next to me, man. I'm on this goddamn weed, man. My bad, dog. Caller, what's the name of the caller from?
Calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What's your name, Miss Fam?
Tony.
Okay, you say Kerman or Herman?
Say it again, Tony.
All right, Kearney. Kearney from Minnesota, talk to me. All right, he on the phone up.
All the fighters from every era knew each other. Ray Leonard and all of them guys, Donald Curry, all these guys knew each other in the amateurs.
Oh, you know what? That's my
There's
fault.
never been
My
an
bad. My bad, blood. That's my fault.
I thought I was talking. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I thought you were talking to him. Like, what the fuck is this? Hold on. Somebody just hit me up. Friend of mine. Somebody, my homeboy truck driver. My homeboy truck driver hit me up. I used to be a truck driver, blood. Back in the day, I used to drive everywhere.
Hey, Coach, do you got any of that weed left? That Terrence Crawford weed that you?
Oh
had?
yeah. I got it right here. Hell yeah. Shit, I had 4 packs. I got it right here. The Spence pack. Yeah.
How's that smoke? I wanted to ask you. Now I got you real quick.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That shit right. It had me. They got some green, bro. They got some green. I be telling people. I say Omaha got that gas, bro. Omaha had that gas, bro. People be looking at me like I say, bro, Omaha got that gas. I'm telling you. That shit was good, man. Like literally it was good. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It was the Boxing 206 from Seattle. Hello.
The Boxing Historian, man, Seattle, man. What's going on, brother?
Big Brian.
Was good, Coach. Was good, blood boxing. Good with it.
What's up, my brother?
Nothing, man. Just working today. But
I'm trying to get a better reception of you, man. You sound kind of
Oh, one second. I got you. Is that better?
I'm gonna say something again. Say something, Brian.
1 second. Is that better?
Yes, it's better. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So yeah. I just wanted to say one quick thing about Devin Haney. Look, I respect his work, his work ethic, his hard work. I respect what him and his father's trying to do. And I believe that they're trying to accomplish more than what the guys at 135, are trying to accomplish, especially like, overrated, overhyped dude like Tank Davis. The thing about Devin Haney's resume is that outside of the Lomachenko win, which, controversy or not, it's a win. Outside of that win, there's not much there to really, and I'm talking about the quality of opponents, to really warrant that he's an all-time great 135er. Because a lot of these guys that I look at, like Kambosos and Jojo Diaz and some of these other guys that he's beaten, they're not really of a caliber outside of level, C level, honestly. You know what I'm saying? You fought one top-level guy who's pretty much in the decline of his career. You know what I'm saying? And I look at what he's accomplished as far as the belts. I'm going to say this with the belts. Undisputed is very important, and the belts mean something. It does matter. You know what I'm saying? Regardless what some people like to say about boxing. But if you take the belts out, there's really no point of even fighting, honestly. But with that being said, Undisputed can be also a gimmick and an overrated thing in this era because of the devaluing of the belts themselves. You understand? You need to have the quality of opposition along with, in the rank 1 to rank 10 to have those type of quality opposition under your belt, like literally clean out a whole weight class, like, Crawford in a way, and, Canelo Alvarez done, and a few others that have done it, in one weight class. He has not done that. So for him to say that, it's very premature, you know what I'm saying? But if he wants to work at that, and this is my opinion, he has to pursue the top dogs and defeat the top dogs for him to be considered, an all-time great 135. That's my thing with that situation.
I think that he's boxing historian. I think he is going in the right direction. I like Devin Haney a lot. He's one of my favorite young fighters. He seems to be one of the fighters who really do want to fight the top guys. What I don't want to do is I don't want to punish a fighter, because if you're trying to make other top fights with other top guys and they don't want to fight you for whatever the reason may be, I at the same time I can't punish Devin Haney or Shakur or Tank or whoever that fighter may be that may be avoided. I can't punish him because the other top guys who may be there don't want to fight him. That's one. And then two, I do get what you're saying. You're saying that the level of competition is just really not there in today's boxing. For the Haneys and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying, or am I missing the point?
No. You're hitting the point. Just that I was saying, like, the opposition that he's defeated, for him to say that he's like to be considered an all-time great.
Okay.
Based off of what he has currently, but I'm just saying that he's trending towards that. Where he needs to go. But no, that's pretty much exactly what I was saying.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, man. Shout out to Brian, man, the boss in the story, man. Blood, anything you want to say to him?
Hey, man, always good to talk to you, Big Brian, man. My love, brother.
All right,
yeah.
All right, salute, fam.
Oh, yeah, much love, man. Salute.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the thing is, Blood. The thing is, Blood. Devin Haney. He has time. He's a young fighter. He has time. Yeah. So hell, by the time he get 30, man, it ain't no telling where he gonna be at. Blood, I'm gonna give you I know you've been on for a little bit, man. I'm gonna do this one more call for you. Okay. You gonna like this one. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, you already know it's inevitable. D Block, D Town, DC, D-Ville, Baltimore.
D Block. You know
it's inevitable, man. You already know I had to call in the show. After what I just heard, put me to sleep right now. After what I just heard, put my ass to sleep. Let me say it one more time. After what I heard, put me to sleep. But that's okay. Come in, my boy. You telling me Haney? You telling me Haney hasn't done like it was just he really hasn't proven himself. I mean, what he's saying is he fought a Lomachenko in the decline, but yet he gave him a competitive fight, a great fight. You could have just said Lomachenko would have won the fight. You could have flipped the coin and Lomachenko would have won the fight. Doesn't matter. It was a great fight with the legendary. I already told you, he's like white Jesus to me. I mean, I got him praised up. The guy can walk on water. He can do no bad. We already know who Lomachenko was, Coach. We know his pedigree. Olympic gold, 2-time medalist he has one of the greatest records of all time. And that's fact. Now, you got to give Haney his props. I don't care if he fought Diaz, he fought Linares. I mean, he got some names in his chain already, Coach. And I don't care what they say. At the end of the day, it's about who you've been with and what have you shown in that box you're in with. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. It's who you fight that matters. And I get what you're saying. No, but I think you're missing the point. No one is taking credit away from Devin Haney. I think what Blood Boston is saying is he's saying, listen, it's too early in his career to say, hey, we're going to compare you to the all-time greats right now. He still have more work to do. You become an all-time great over what you do over a period of time. It's what you do over a certain period of time which would decide, because time would tell whether you're all-time great or not because you have time to fight certain name guys when you fought them and stuff like that. So that's all. We're not saying that hey, he doesn't deserve props. He gets a lot of props from me. I love the kid myself, but at the end of the day, it's too early in his career to compare him to the greats when there's so much more work he has to do. I think that's the point you're missing.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. He just said exactly.
I got one more thing to say with this, and I'm gonna call back if the show still can let me call back. Do you remember Oscar De La Hoya when he fought Pernell Whitaker, and they said Pernell Whitaker was too old, and Oscar De La Hoya beat him, and then he fought Corte, and before that great fight with him in Trinidad, you remember that, Coach?
Yeah, I remember.
It was a super fight. Okay, so Oscar De La Hoya from the Olympics came up, won his gold. I mean, they were prepping him up. Top Rank was pushing him up. He was the golden child, the golden boy.
Yeah.
And his stiff competition was what? When they look back, they're like, oh, he fought an old ass Whitaker. But Whitaker was the legit champion, or he was a legit legend. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So for Devin Haney right now to say, hey man, you need to consider me one of the greats. Devin Haney at his age has done more than Oscar De La Hoya did. And I'm just saying, like, not pedigree wise. I'm saying Olympic wise. But I'm just saying he's undisputed. Something Oscar De La Hoya, and like I said, I'm taking it slow. I'm not hyping it up because I love Oscar De La Hoya. But when you look at the trajectory of where he's going and where he's one of my favorite fighters, you already know that, Coach. You know he's the kryptonite to Tank Davis. Mr. Bobblehead, he don't do nothing. He's just staying there. With stilettos. I mean, all right, let me shut up. I'm getting too out of my hat. What I'm saying is the trajectory to even fight Prograis for the WBC title. That's telling you. Devin Haney is going up there with the legends. D-Block, D-Town, D-City, D-Ville, Baltimore, stand up.
Yeah, D-Block, I totally disagree with that. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. Devin Haney is undisputed, but I can't sit here and say that he's he's greater than I know you're saying that right now because he's undisputed. He's greater than what Oscar De La Hoya has done. After that, no, I totally disagree with that. And the reason why I disagree with that is because what we said in the beginning. You got to look at his, how he was able to get those belts. No, it's not Devin Haney's fault. You know what I mean? He fought who he had to fight, but he ended up fighting George Kambosos. You get what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya was a hell of. Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody. So I think it's too early to say that he's at this point he's greater than Oscar De La Hoya was. I totally disagree with that. Hold on, we got.
I disagree with that too, man. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, he's trying to say that Devin Haney done more than Oscar De La Hoya had done at that age. By that age, Oscar De La Hoya had fought Jorge Paez. He had fought Rafael Ruelas. He had fought.
Go ahead, Blood.
He had fought Genaro Hernandez. He had fought John Molina. He had fought Julio Cesar Chavez. And what, in 97, he would have been around close to similar in age to what Devin Haney is now, which he fought, what's his name? Pernell Whitaker.
Pernell Whitaker, yeah.
So that's crazy. He fought all kind of names. Chavez, Whitaker, Miguel Angel Gonzalez, Jesse James Leija, Rafael Ruelas, John Molina, Jorge Paez. Come on, man. Your boy, your boy hung the phone up because he can't have that discussion with me. Your boy D-Block, he can't have the discussion with me. So he did the best thing. You address Coach when you come up here. Just don't address me with that, buddy.
I told you you were going to like it. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Jamie from New York again.
Jamie, talk to me.
Sorry, Coach. I don't want to be like D-Blood. D-Blood's cool. Blood, I have a question for you, man.
Okay.
I spoke to you earlier about Jose Luis Ramirez, and
yes, sir.
We both know he's not in the Hall of Fame. When he's got Hall of Famers on his resume, like Whitaker, Chavez, Rosario, Camacho, I'm sure he fought others. But I have a question for you. Why is it that Simon Brown is not in the Hall of Fame? I would love to know your take on that.
Man, listen. I've been going on with this for a long time. Simon Brown, he was a unified champion, right? And plus he had, I think it was 9 defenses or something like that. He had more defenses than Earl Spence. He was a unified champion. He also moved up and beat Terry Norris. He should be a Hall of Famer. He should have been a Hall of Famer a long time ago. Absolutely. Man, I like this guy right here, man. I like this guy, Coach.
Yeah.
Brother right here.
Yeah. But that's all I got, man. I just wanted to run that by you because that's been, man, in my head for years, man. And I don't understand it, why they're doing this, man, like that. But all right, bro, listen, respect once again, man. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Great day. He's correct. You've heard me say it before that Simon Brown should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you always say you've been a strong advocate of that. I remember what that year was. They had the revenge of the rematches. Blood. That was I think Simon Brown and Terry Norris fought each other again.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. I don't remember the exact year.
Julio Cesar Chavez. I think he fought Frankie Randall again. I think that was a rematch. Damn, I'm trying to think.
It would have to be around 95, 96, maybe.
Julian Jackson. No, it was earlier than that, I think. Julian Jackson.
It might have been earlier. Yeah, it might have been earlier.
Julian Jackson fought on Jeremy McCallum again. So, that
would have definitely been earlier. 93 or so, maybe.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, that's the revenge. The revenge of the rematches. I got. It's in my mind, but it was called the revenge of the rematches.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the exact year on it, but I know exactly.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Coach? This is Marco from the 714.
Man, Marco from the 714. Talk to me, fam.
Hey, Coach, this is the first time I actually get the opportunity to see blood boxing, and let me tell you, man, true game right there. And I appreciate you trying to educate all these ignorant fools, Coach, that get mesmerized by social media and all this flashy things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, as far as Devin Haney, the kid is good. And that's what makes it sometimes a little more frustrating with him ducking some of his big fights because we know he's got the talent to put up a fight. I know the business maybe sometimes doesn't add up, but as far as him saying compared to the great ones, hell no, Coach. I mean,
at least not for the next 5 years. He's got a lot to prove. I grew up watching the likes of Meldrick Taylor, Frankie, Randall. I mean, and when I see these youngsters get mesmerized by Kang, get mesmerized by some of these cats who are overly hyped, I say, man, this kid's got to go back and watch Taylor, Randall, and Whitaker, because this cat's been doing it for a long time. And as far as the transition that we see with social media, I mean, it works both ways, Coach. Some of them use it for good. Some of them just try to squeeze the most popularity out of it. And can you imagine how Chavez has social media and they're bugging out where he's partying with all these people from Sinaloa where he's not supposed to be around? Social media would have crashed, Coach. But neither there. I mean, Floyd exploited. He did a well job. And to me, Coach, every time I watch that De La Hoya, Floyd, I think De La Hoya took that fight by at least a point.
Yeah.
Very close fight.
Very close
Hell of a fight. That's all I got to say, Coach. And thank you for our guest. And I'm just trying to soak up game, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Shout out to Marcos, man. 714, stand up. Man. Hey, you know what? Hey, Blood, listen, man. Hey, guys, Blood gave me for more than an hour of his time. Damn, I was on the entire show. So, hey, Blood, man, I want to, man, thank you, brother, so much. We got to do this. We got to do this again next week. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna give you my word. I'm gonna start doing this a lot more. You know what I've been going through, but everything is getting better now.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna start doing this a lot more every week. I'm trying to get Ring IQ on tomorrow. Jules, I'm gonna get him on the show tomorrow. Get D Style on the show as well. So that that's what I'm gonna start doing, man. I really appreciate
those are good guys, man. Ring IQ and D Style, both good guys.
Yeah, I gotta get boxing gym.
And you know me, I'm your Florida homie. I come whenever you say, Coach.
Hey,
just save some of that Terrence Crawford. Now I don't smoke no more, but
hey, boy, ooh, Lord, hey, man, I'm glad you stopped. I remember I had smoked, then I had stopped for a while, and now, man, I'm back again. You know, I just like to laugh. It make me laugh, so it is what it is. Blood, let the people know once again how they can get in contact. How they can get in contact with you. What channels you have?
I have 2 channels. I have one called Blood Boxing. You type Blood Boxing, it'll come in. But the one that you guys need to subscribe to is called Retro Boxing and Documentaries. As soon as you type Retro Boxing, I'll come up. That's the one where I talk about the old school fighters. So you guys check that out, man. And Coach, man, give me a call. I'll talk to you real soon, Coach.
All right. Shout out to Blood Boxing, man.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, I'm finna drop your link right now. Let's give my brother Blood Boxing a round of applause. Blood Boxing. Hold on, guys. I'm finna drop his link right now. Please subscribe to Blood Boxing. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this, man. I'm just trying to get my main man, Ring IQ, on next week. Want to try to get D-Style. I haven't reached out to him yet, but I got to get D-Style on the show. You get what I'm saying? Like guys who on YouTube channel, like guys who I really, who I really respect. I'm gonna try to get everybody on here, man. Get CJ on here. I mean, just guys I rock with. If I don't fuck with them, fuck them. I ain't reaching out to no nigga I don't fuck with. If I don't fuck with your nigga, you ain't never got to worry about me reaching out to you. So what we gonna do, man? The phone line's still open. We finna rock out a little bit more, probably about another 45 minutes. It is what it is. We're gonna have a short station identification break, and after that, we will be back into the show.
Yep, that's right. I'm running things. Cream corn. That's why they call me that. Smooth. I got more measure for your pleasure. Stick with me, baby. I'll have you farting through silk. And let a nigga mess with me. I'll jump on him. All 93 pounds of pure dynamite.
Y'all don't know what time of TI is, man. You guys know me, man. My level of petty will not stop.
Throwing that loosey-goosey all over, it's going to get messy like that.
You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's gonna get messy. You get what I'm saying? Nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that.
Can a nigga borrow a French fry? And my first thought wasn't, oh my God, he said the word, the N-word. It was, now how is a nigga gonna borrow a fry? Nigga, is you gonna give it back?
You get what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. When a nigga got cottage cheese and titties, a nigga with cottage cheese and titties ain't gonna want me doing a motherfucking thing.
True.
I can just tell you, boy. I can just tell you, nigga with cottage cheese and titties, man. I ain't even trying to hear that shit there, man. Right now, we just gonna go ahead and celebrate, man. We gonna listen, but we gonna go get into the show. We gonna go to a short station identification break, as I said before. And once we do that, we will be back.
I know I'm gonna get this money.
Talking water. My bracelet costs about 40 and my necklace costs a quarter. Talking water. I go stupid like on Boosie. All this jury got me foolish. All this water. All of these diamonds, they bright, so you gon' see me at night. All of this water. Now why me drip.
Water. When your daughter see this water, she gon' let Boosie record her. Them little niggas in the A, they making deals off the wall.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, like, man, it is what it is, man. Phone lines over, man, 530-494-9636. 530-494-9636. It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna lie, dog. I like Devin Haney a lot. I like Devin. I like Tank. I like Shakur. I like those young fighters. I do, man. I like those young fighters a lot, man. I think all of them are talented. Again, it's too early to see, whether whether you can compare Devin Haney to the greats or not, because he's still young. He's only 24 years old. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's only 24. How you become an all-time great or one of the greats, it's what you do over a period of time. Do you get what I'm saying? What you do over a period of time. So, that's what it is. So he still got time. But I tell you what, he's on the right road. He's on the right road. I will say that Devin is on the right road. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I still say that, like, him, Tank, stuff like that, those other guys, those fights are not going to happen till like 4 or 5 years later on down the line. When Tank get like 33, 34 years old, I think you'll see him fight some of those other guys. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's L, Kansas City.
L from Kansas City. Talk to me, fam.
I had a question. I know Blood's off the line now, but my question was, how come Arturo Gatti made it into the Hall of Fame, but Diego Corrales has not?
Man, woo. Hey, you know what? I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that. You know who I can ask? And he's one of the guys who vote. He's one of the voting board members to see who gets elected to the Hall of Fame. Rick Glazier.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually casts votes. He's one of the guys that casts votes on who should be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of them. So I would have to ask him. Like, that's a great question.
Yeah, because that's always bothered me, because I've never even seen. I don't even know if Diego's even made it to the ballot. I don't think I've ever seen it, but Arturo Gatti made it first ballot, no questions asked. And he didn't beat nobody. He lost all the big. Every time he stepped up, he lost. Yes, he had a couple belts, but he lost to De La Hoya, Mayweather, and Carlos Baldomir.
Yeah,
he lost to.
He lost all the top fights. Got in wars. He didn't know what. So R.I.P. to Arturo Gatti, man. He was a warrior, man, but he didn't. He had no defense.
Yeah, and the Gatti Ward. I mean, Floyd said it best. He said it's 2 C-level fighters in a war. I'm thinking, yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it was entertaining, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And I do like those fights, but I mean, that wasn't high-level quality fights there from a skill standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, Arturo Gatti, man, fans loved Arturo Gatti. Oh, that's Arturo Gatti. But I'm like, he was a punching bag, face always bleeding, bloody. Bro, like, that's a dangerous way to make a living. That's a dangerous way to make a living, man. Like, you know, I had tears in my eyes when, well, you know what? Not really, because I was not really, because I was a Nation Islam at the time. But I felt, I'll just say, I felt sorry for, when Floyd Mayweather and Arturo Gatti fought each other, I'm like, oh my God. I ain't never seen a man get beat like that, man. Like, he beat this man. Floyd tried to kill this dude, man. Floyd, I don't even think Floyd got hit. I don't even think he got hit that fight. Did he get hit? Did Arturo got it scratch Floyd or something?
He had him looking like Ronnie in Players Club. Did you leave Pinks the bitch?
Yeah. Man, I'm like, bro, like Floyd hit this man with every boxing combination in the history of boxing. I say he hitting this man with 2-piece combinations, 3-piece combinations, 4. He was hitting this man with 10 and 15-piece combinations. Like, you know, normally, you know, the fighter throw a combo, he may land, you know, if he throw a 3-punch combo, he may land one or you know, land one and miss the other 2, or land 2 and miss 1. Like Florida throw 15 punches, he'll land 18 punches. True. I'm like, God damn, man. But you're right, he lost to Arturo Gatti lost to Bodemir, I think. Of course he lost to Floyd.
Yeah, he did.
Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather killed him. De La Hoya. You know, Mickey Ward, of course.
Ivan
Robinson, yeah. I'm like, man.
And lost I think his last fight was when he lost to Alfonso Gomez from the Contender.
Yeah.
So
they love, but the fans love doggone Arturo Gatti. They loved him. They were like, you know, Gotti. I was like, man, you know, none of that running stuff. You know, when Floyd beat Arturo Gatti, Floyd got a lot of hate from the fans for beating Arturo Gatti too. I remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he came in. It was June 25th, 2005, in Atlantic City.
Yeah. Where was that? Atlantic City?
It was in Boardwalk Hall, Atlantic City.
Yeah,
and that's when Floyd had him carry him to the ring. You remember they carried Floyd to the ring?
Yeah, they carried him to the ring.
And he came out another fight. He did everything to piss off everybody in that place.
Yeah. Floyd, you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something what I did take my hat off to Floyd, where these guys, they don't even pick up. Floyd got so much from wrestling. Very similar to, Floyd got a lot from wrestling. Like Floyd realized, you know what? I can make a lot of money being the heel. Like in wrestling, like you be the heel, be the bad guy. Floyd relished being the bad guy. Do you remember when his R.I.P. to Roger Mayweather, when Roger Mayweather used to walk to the ring with the Mexican sombrero on and the Mexican outfit and the flag and all that stuff there? Roger Mayweather, Mexican Independence, he'll come out there, when he fight the Mexican fighter, he'll have like the stuff that you guys seen Floyd do, like Floyd, Mexican Independence Day, he'll have on the Mexican, the flag colors, the trunks, the hat, the shirt, and all that stuff there. Floyd got that from his uncle. And I was like, man, Floyd realized, you know what? I can't get my respect. They don't want to respect me. So I guess he was like, fuck it. After he beat Oscar, he was like, fuck it. He just played the bad guy, and people just paid to see him lose. Like, he played that up to perfection.
Yeah, and the sad part is he trained like he was broke, so they were never going to beat him.
Yeah, they were never going to beat him. Yeah, he trained like he was, like Floyd made all that money, but Floyd wasn't the type of guy that made the money, and then he rested on his laurels. Like, he was going to out-train you. He was going to be ready. He always stayed in fight shape. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. Like, he literally lived. And I remember what he said not too long ago before I let you go. He said that, me personally, I think he was throwing shots at Errol Spence. Because this was right when Errol Spence said, man, Floyd ain't none of my ball. When he don't sign, his name ain't on my checks. And I talked to Al. I don't want to talk to no Floyd. And then Floyd came out and said, again, like I said before, if you're dealing with Al, if you work with Al, you work for me too. Me and Al are one and the same, whether you know that or not. So this is what Floyd said. But Floyd also said this. He said you can't be the man in boxing. You can't say you the man in the ring when it comes fight time. He said you got to be the man in the ring and outside the ring. I was the man in the ring and outside the ring. You know, I lived the life of a boxer. And I immediately I thought about it. I said, oh, he throwing shots at, you know, because you gotta, you know, he throwing shots at Spence. Because you gotta be that man. You just can't just show up, okay, when it's time to fight. Okay, now I'm finna train and get right. He said, no, you got to be that guy in the ring and outside the ring in between fights as well. You got to continue to live that life, and Floyd did that. He did that.
No, 100% he did, and that's why when people talk about him, I really don't pay no attention because I'm thinking a lot of people like Roy Jones, all these people that got into rap videos and everything, and they start slipping on the training, and Floyd never allowed any of that stuff to stop him from doing what he did best.
Yeah, I remember, before I let you go, L, I remember the time where Roy Jones, he was so good. He was so good at one point. Do you remember the time he played a basketball game the day of the fight? He had a fight later on that night. He played a full-court basketball game the day of his fight. Look it up. And I'm like, man, you know, he was always trying to challenge himself, and Larry Merchant used to always talk shit. Larry Merchant used to talk shit to Floyd. He used to talk shit to Roy. He used to talk shit to James Lights Out Tony, Bernard Hopkins. Like Larry Merchant. All Roy, okay, you played a full-court basketball game. Then I heard you ran track with Carl Lewis. Then I heard you went swimming with the U.S. Olympic team earlier today, and then you come in the ring and you beat this guy, you knock him out in like 5-6 rounds. Roy, when are you gonna fight somebody? Larry Merchant. Anyway, man. Hey, shout out to L from Kansas City. Salute, fam. Hey, doggo. Hey, bro. Hey, boy. Listen. All right, okay. Listen. Bro, let me tell you something. If Larry Merchant was still, let's say he was younger and still commentating right now, just imagine what he would say to a Roland Romero. Just imagine what he'll say. You know what he'll say? Well, we know what he'll say on the floor, because that's when Floyd said, you don't know shit about boxing. And then you got doggone Booger Ray Leonard standing behind him. Y'all remember that? Booger Ray Leonard was mean mugging Larry Merchant. Like, yeah, you heard what he said. Hey, Harvey. I remember doggone Flip was in the ring, and Larry Merchant was, you know, he was doing what he do. And and Floyd got mad. You don't know shit about boxing. You know what I mean? And then Leonard Ellerby say, yeah, you heard what he said. I miss HBO, boy. I miss HBO. Booger Ray Leonard was sitting back there. I remember the time. Hey, I remember that time with doggone when Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah got in a fight in the ring. The riot broke out in the ring, right? It was a riot that broke out. And doggone Roger Mayweather rushed the ring. Doggone Noel Judah came in the ring. They were throwing hands. Bro, like, everybody, cause you got no Zab from the hood. He from Brooklyn. He from the hood now. You know, he was about that for real. But doggone Booger Ray Leonard came in there. Booger Ray came in there trying to protect Floyd. He was like, no. He came in there, and Booger Ray I think that was Zab. Because I think Zab had no swung at. He had no swung at doggone Booger Ray or swung on him or something of that sort. And bro, it was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. Like that riot broke out. Call back. Somebody keep calling, but hanging the damn phone up. Somebody keep calling and hanging the phone up. I don't know who it is. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, them were the days there, bro. Them were the days. Hey, HBO, them were the days, bro. Those were the days, HBO, man. And now, you know, we ain't really got no drama. Hey, T Seals, we ain't really got no drama like that now. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's D-Block 2 times.
Was it 2 times or 3 times? Oh, it's 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah, 2
2
times.
times.
All right, okay, 2 times. All right. Go ahead, D-Block.
And, you know, I wanna apologize for my last call. You know, I started rethinking my thing, and I started rethinking, and like, you know, of course, Devin Haney will never be Oscar de la Hoya. I just felt like the projective, of where he's going, undisputed. Oscar De La Hoya never was undisputed. He won titles in 4 divisions. We know this. I respect the man. He is the man that built pay-per-view and took it. I mean, not built it, but he took it to even astronomical numbers. And Mayweather took it to even better numbers. So I respect the man. I want to tell all the people, Oscar De La Hoya people, I'm sorry. Cannot compare Oscar De La Hoya to Devin Haney. But I want to tell you something, Coach, and I come with facts. Right now, if Devin Haney were to retire and Tank Davis were to retire, who would be a first ballot Hall of Famer right now, Coach? Right now, at this moment in their life, who would be in the Hall of Fame? And I want to see what you got to say with this.
That's an easy question. That's an easy answer, D-Block. Neither one of them.
Really?
Yeah, neither one of them. They still have, well, okay, let me preface it like this. I don't know what the criteria is to make the Hall of Fame. If someone had a head start to get in there based on their short accomplishments, I can see you can say Devin Haney because he was undisputed. But again, it's the level of competition who you fought that factors into everything.
Okay.
George Kambosos doesn't do that for me. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. He wouldn't get in the Hall of Fame based on beating George Kambosos to become undisputed.
Yeah.
So that's why. So that's why I say neither one of them.
And this is where I tend to disagree. Well, I love it that you didn't pick Bobblehead because I know you, Coach. You are the smartest coach alive. You know what I mean? You bring nothing but facts. And I already knew you weren't gonna fall in that pit hole. No matter how much money they give you on the side, from the Tank Davis community or the Tank Davis fan base, as we know, Coach. And we know they'll give money to anybody just to make their man make it seem like he's the greatest. Devin Haney, right now, Coach, you're right. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for me because he beat Lomachenko, the man that beat the man that beat the man. I mean, he already went to Kambosos, the man that beat the man. He completed the full circle, undisputed, and now, Coach, he's fighting a legitimate 140 that you said up a long time ago that them guys up there, they're real top dogs. 140, you don't mess with them. But he's going for the main dog, Prograis. So what I'm trying to say is Devin Haney will be in the Hall of Fame. He has a better trajectory to be in the Hall of Fame, while Tank Davis still, right now, we don't even though we think we know it's Cruz, but we know that he ain't going to fight a legitimate fighter right now. That's all I got to say with that. I love everybody, respect everybody, love the show. You did great today, Coach. I can't call 3 times today because the show's about to end, and we got to give some free space to everybody else. So all I got to say is Baltimore, stand up from the tyranny of Tank Davis. D-Block, D-Champ, D-Block.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for like Tank and Haney and stuff like that, it just, as I said before, it's going to take some more time. Like once those guys get some more fights, have some signature fights, some legacy-defining fights, then so we got to see where they're at 4 or 5 years from now, and we'll go from there. But right now it's just too early. It's too early to say this man belongs in the Hall of Fame. Nah, it's just too early for that right now. Because you gotta have some more legacy-defining fights and stuff like that. And for me, Kambosos is not it's a legacy-defining accomplishment, but Kambosos doesn't do it for me. You need more than that over a period of time. I'm calling. What's your name when you calling from?
This is Damien from B-More.
Damien, talk to me, fam.
Hey, man. Whenever D-Block call, I just gotta harass him a little bit. So let's go Kambosos, right?
Right.
So that's the Devin Haney undisputed. Can't debate it, right? So when I look at fighters, what did you do after they beat you? What did they do after? Did they just fade away? Did they become champs again? Like what happened to them?
Yeah.
So if you look at as you say, bobbleheads, best wins. The fighters after that, we don't like Rolly, and he got a gift, but hey, he's a champ after losing the champ.
Man, no, he's not a champ. He's a title holder.
Okay, he's a title holder.
Yeah.
Pedraza. After the Pedraza went on to get another title. Leo Santa Cruz, four-time division champ.
Mm.
So if you go and pick through his little so-called wins, they actually better than Devin Haney. If you're going with the legacy, if you want to go there. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to fight each other. But I'm just picking with him because he seems every day. I don't care what we talk about. He just got to bring Tank in. I'm fucking confused. Like, what does Tank do to you?
Well, and that's why I asked D-Block. I say, D-Block, for someone who hates Tank Davis so much, you still have not covered that tattoo up. So just imagine waking up every day, you rubbing your face, rubbing the crust out your eyes, and you go in the bathroom and, you brush your teeth, wash your face, and you see this nice tattoo on the side of your hand that says Gervonta Tank Davis on your hand, and you just imagine having a conversation with your hand, looking at Tank Davis' name. Bobblehead, I don't like you. Yeah. I got your name on the side of my hand, but I still don't like you. Because you bobblehead. You cherry picking. You ain't fighting nobody. And if you want to get some true respect, you're gonna have to fight my boy, Devin Haney. And once you fight Devin Haney and then Shakur and those other guys, then I give you respect. Until then, I don't like you. But you see that name every day on your hand. I'm like, how can you hate on the guy who you got his name tattooed on?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, and D-Block is right. Tank got to fight Devin and Shakur. I mean, at the end of the day, he got to fight them.
All of them got to fight each other. This is what I'm saying.
We need a good round robin. We need a Super Six.
Yeah, it's not Tank. It's not Shakur.
It's all of them.
Shakur just got to the lightweight division. This will be his second fight. It's not Devin. I'm saying all of those guys eventually got to fight each other. Teofimos, they got to fight each other. That's all. That there's no special rule for one and not for the other. All of them under the same bracket. All of them got to get in the ring and mix it up with each other. That's all.
We need a Super Six, man. We need a good Super Six, and they can use the 135, 141. I mean, me personally, I like to be a champ, but I don't even think I don't really care about the belts. Yeah. I just want to see the best fight the best, because clearly Devin got the belts, but a lot of people don't even respect that he's undisputed. So I mean, we working in a different time frame, and our era, you just want to get them belts. But now I don't know. I don't try to figure it out or anything. I just use my little eye test. Say, well, this guy look like he can fight. This guy look like he can fight. Okay, we need to get them in the ring.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just picking with D-Block.
All right, man. Shout out to David, man. Salute for you know D-Block gonna hate, man. Shout out to David, man. Salute. Be more stand up. Yeah. I'm just imagining. I'm just imagining, right? I'm just imagining. I mean, just imagine. Put it this way. What D-Block is doing. Just imagine a man that's like 55, 56 years old, and he has a serious case of gyno. Anybody don't know what gyno is? That's male breast. He has a serious case of male breast. And just imagine, let's say you a light-skinned dude from Illinois, and you got cottage cheese, and you have titties, and let's say you hate Terrence Crawford, right? That's the equivalent of having Terrence Crawford name, another man having Terrence Crawford name tattooed on his titties, and he's lifting his shirt up to show everybody Terrence Crawford's name that's tattooed on his titties.
No, but those throwing that loosey-goosey all over, it's going to get messy like that.
You know what I mean? Just imagine, you sitting there, you sitting there talking to your titties. Yeah, man, I don't like you, Crawford. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to my left titty now. I don't like you. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm gonna make some more videos hating on you. And you damn near 60 years old, my nigga. You too old to be hating. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's good, Coach? It's Easy out here in Dallas.
Man, Easy in Dallas. Talk to me, fam.
Man, what we talking about, Coach? Resume?
No, we were just talking about Devin Haney. Devin Haney said that he feels that when you talk about him, his name he want to have his name mention him with the greats because he feels that he's doing legendary stuff. And I do agree he is doing he's doing the top things right now. But in order for me to compare him to the greats, he's going to have to do a lot more. You don't just get compared to the greats that easy. It's who you fight, when you fought them, and can you have sustained success over a period of time. That's what determines that.
Okay, I agree. I mean, I'm just saying, we look at his resume. I mean, what's his top win? Loma, he barely won that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Cambosos.
George Cambosos.
And I blame Tio for Cambosos.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he came out fighting, it caused Cambosos. Now everybody puts Cambosos like he's a top fighter. I think he's kind of a BC level fighter.
Yeah.
What you think on Cambosos?
No, he ain't no top fighter. No, he ain't no top fighter. No, he ain't no top fighter. No, hell no.
Yeah, he's not no top fighter. And then we look at it. He listed Gamboa. I mean, Gamboa was wild.
Yeah.
He listed Linares. Linares was wild. I mean, ain't nobody really got a good resume. It's kind of like Earl's resume. It ain't all that way if you really break it down.
Yeah, he fought, but Errol fought names. Well, he fought 3 good names. He fought Sean Porter. He fought Danny Garcia. And he fought Ugas.
Yeah,
so that's...
Yeah. So when you look at it, I mean, Ugas didn't ever beat nobody but a 40-year-old Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And the Earl Six was acting like he was money made. And Danny Garcia, he never won a big fight at 140.
Nah.
And he really lost to Ferreira and Peterson.
Yeah. Peterson got robbed in that fight. But,
you could break down everybody's resume.
Yeah, everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You can criticize everybody's resume.
These dudes just gotta fight each other and see who the last man standing is. But I think everybody's scared to lose that oath.
I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see, man.
Yeah.
But, hey, Easy, how was going in Dallas, man? What's going on with Rainwater and dang, I forgot. Trap Boy Freddy and all that. What's going on?
Freddy?
Yeah. What's going on over there in Dallas, man?
No, they just try to run up on Trap Boy. I think he was doing the Moneybag Yo concert, and they just try to run up on him, make it look like he was running. But I think he was on a podcast with Charleston White.
Yeah,
explaining a little bit that he's on probation, so he couldn't really do nothing.
Yeah. All right.
And he knew they were filming it, so
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate it. I tune into the show every day, but I gotta apologize to you, Coach, because before I started tuning in, I thought you were part of the Wakanda tribe. I gotta apologize to you, man. I didn't mean to mix up with this before I started checking it out. But you one of my daily listeners, man. You one of my daily listeners. I enjoy the show, and stay on these fools next, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Easy, man. Dallas, stand up, man. D-Town.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. D-Town, stand up, man. Yeah, D-Town, stand up, man. It is what it is, man. Yeah, man. Sometimes, man, we can't be playing with these sapsuckers, man. We cannot be playing with these sapsuckers.
Come fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm gonna knock out all this, baby.
It is what it is, man. Let's just sit back, man. It is what it is. Once again, it's on, man. Y'all know how we do it, man. We keep it cracking lacking. We're going to go to a short station identification break, and we're going to rock out with the phones for a little bit more before we shut the show down.
About you. And ever since that first night, it seems like I've been going crazy about you.
Mint green chrome in the butt, burnt orange 550. Say the pinky ring pimp, give love pussy. Seafood, big pool, make your girl look. Backwoods, big grill, watch the chef cook. Talk slow, big smoke in the moonlight. Knock your doors down, shout it till your mind right. East Point, full kind of where a nigga from. Got love.
Man, shout out to my sister, man. Jackie Hernandez. Jackie, what's going on, sis?
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Jackie Hernandez. What's going on, sis? Salute to you, sis. What the hell is that? This some shit. I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, man, I'm just part of the weed. Shout out to you, Jackie. Don't worry, y'all don't worry about me. I talk to myself sometimes. Sometimes I do talk to myself, and I answer myself too. Shout out to AMK dropping that $2 super chat. He say 7-8. 7-8 complaining about Crawford again today. Hey, bro, listen, check this out, man. Bro, check this out. Bro, I don't get it, fam. Like, the thing, this is the thing that gets me, right? Let me share this with you guys. I want to share this with you guys right quick. It's very important that I share this with you, right? This was going on social media today, right? This was going on social media. And I'm going to say this, right? I told you, a lot of this stuff is TMZ. What's going on unboxing, what you see, this is called tabloid journalism. You get what I'm saying? And tabloid journalism was really, really popular probably in the 70s, 80s. I think the 80s and definitely the 90s. You know, it's largely about sensationalism type journalism. Now, there's nobody that's journalists on YouTube, but that's what it is. It's about gossip. It's about sensationalizing things, you know, tabloidish, you know what I mean? You know, gossip, just rumors. Like, but this is what you hear in boxing. You know, the rumor report. Yeah, man, rumor see, yeah, man. Like, dudes will take a rumor that they heard and report it like, yeah, this was going on. It's like chatty type talk. You get what I'm saying? People sitting there, we call it chatty patties. You know, that's what Dame Dads call it. Chatty patties, right? It's like people be chit-chatting and stuff about anything. Yeah, you know. Okay, I'm going to give you a perfect example. You got old Crescent niggas, right? Old Crescent nigga YouTube channels, right? And these old Crescent nigga YouTube channels, like niggas damn near 60 years old, and they dedicated their entire life to hate on a guy who they're old enough to be their father, right? They got cottage cheese and titties. Now, what I realize is when you got cottage cheese and titties, you a man, you suffer from a strong case of gyno. I realized I was wrong. I had to be a little bit more compassionate. And the reason why I have to be a little bit more compassionate is this. If I'm a man and I'm suffering from gooch grease and I got cottage cheese and titties, so just imagine having gooch grease, cottage cheese, and titties, and you waking up to this as a man every day, I would be mad and upset too. You get what I'm saying? So I got to be a little bit more sympathetic. Gooch grease, cottage cheese, titties. Gooch grease, cottage cheese, titties. I got to be a little bit more sympathetic. I think I've been a little bit too rough. You know what I mean, so to speak? I'm not saying pause. I think I've been a little bit too rough, and I think I need to be a little bit more compassionate. You know, these cream corn guys out there that's very cream corn, I do apologize. You know, so if I hurt any cream corn's feelings and you're suffering from gooch grease, you haven't been treated yet, and you got cottage cheese and titties, and you got your favorite fighter that you love to hate tattooed on your titties, and then not only that, I got to say this. When your sole mission is to wake up every day and, you know, you love Errol Spence, but you don't make no videos about Errol Spence. Every video is, I hate Terrence Crawford. I hate Terrence Crawford again. Did I tell you I still hate Terrence Crawford? Yep, I hate Terrence Crawford some more. Yep, I still hate Terrence Crawford. Yeah, ain't nothing changed. I don't like Terrence Crawford. Yep, Terrence Crawford over there doing this. Man, I heard Terrence Crawford was in the bathroom cutting his fingernails. Yep, I heard Terrence Crawford was walking down the street and he bought his kids some chips. Yep, brother, just imagine. These niggas is in their 50s and 60s and some of these niggas around my age, they 40s. Just imagine that. True. There's not a fighter that's in boxing that's talked about more than Terrence Crawford right now. Have you guys noticed that? Nobody. Not Canelo and Jamel Charlo have a fight coming up, but guess what? They're not talked about more than Terrence Crawford. True. Not on social media. These guys have really made this guy like popular beyond belief. But the crazy part about it is to be an old nigga hating. To be an old, bitter, Crescent nigga hating, bowler blocking, hating. Every day, nigga, you shoot 5-6 videos a day, and you go live, and every video and every live is hating. True. I'm like, y'all niggas too old for this. They making niggas who my age look bad.
Yep, that's right. I'm running things. Cream corn. That's why they call me that. Smooth. I got more measure for your pleasure. Stick with me, baby. I'll have you farting through silk. And let a nigga mess with me. I'll jump on him. All 93 pounds of pure dynamite.
Bro, like this has been become an obsession. You know how ladies, have you ever been with a man, you broke up with him, but the dude is obsessed with you? He's obsessed with you, and it's like when you wake up in the morning, he at your doorstep. When you at your job, he outside in the afternoon when you taking a break or whatever the case may be like there's an obsession. There's an obsession, man, fam. I'm like, damn, I ain't like how you niggas got this much energy for a guy, and you supposed to be fans of Errol Spence, but you don't even talk about Errol Spence. You talk 99.9% of your content is directed towards Terrence Crawford. You making him blow up even more. Like, somebody told me that Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing, and I say, no, I don't think he's the face of boxing. But you know what? The reason why I gotta agree with that he's the face of boxing right now, because nobody's more talked about in boxing than Terrence Crawford. True. Listen, I'm finna prove my point to you guys. Look at all these aerosexual YouTube channels like the Fagnons, the Doodoo Browns, the She-Goes, you know, the Janitor Farties, anybody from the Alphabet Boys, right? Anytime they drop a I Hate Terrence Crawford video, watch how many views they get. Watch how many comments they have. And then watch if they talk about, they don't even talk about Errol Spence, but if they talk about anybody else, watch how low those views be and watch how low those comments be. Terrence Crawford is moving the needle. This is the reality of the situation. And I told you guys, sometimes you can hate a dude so much that you hate him to success. True. Just imagine a nigga hating on you so much that he hate you to success. Like, goddamn, my nigga, I ain't shit. You know, these niggas, you know what I mean? Crawford getting on YouTube, just trolling these niggas, hollering about, yeah, nigga, I'm 180 pounds. I'm finna move up to heavyweight. Oh, you can't believe that. Terrence Crawford is 180 pounds. Did you guys hear that? He 180. Well, if he 180, how come he won't fight Spence at 154? And I can't believe this. The dude is literally trolling you guys. He had a laughing emoji on the tweet. The dude is trolling you guys because he know, and I told you guys, it's like with me, right? I got quite a few haters. Right? But my haters have hated me to success. This is why I'm winning. My haters have hated me to success. I can't lose. I can't do no wrong right now. My haters, them niggas hate me so much that they hate me to success. I'm the hottest boxing podcast on YouTube. Not the biggest, but the hottest. I'm the more entertaining boxing podcast on YouTube. And I do it dolo by myself. These niggas hated me so much that, that I've gotten better over time. And again, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But I have gotten better over time, especially from when I first started until where I'm at now. And now it's like, man, now I feel like Neo in the Matrix, dog. It's like, dude, my level of trolling and pettiness is at an all-time high. I haven't even went into my bag yet. I got a bag I haven't even went into yet, right? So I use these low IQ ass niggas like the Fagnons, the Doodle Brown, the She-Goes, stuff like that. These niggas, they come out and diss me, Jabba the Hutt, they diss me, stuff like that. But what it does is, it really helps me out because now I get a whole lot of people that's hate watching me. True. And my sole purpose is to destroy the narratives and to, fight all the fugaziness. That's my whole purpose. I'm finna destroy these narratives, these old race baiting ass niggas, fake wannabe revolutionary ass niggas who they say they pro-black, but every time they turn around, they shitting and defecating on another black man, another black fighter. Like literally. So I told you guys that shit was fake. Ain't nothing pro-black about these niggas. I told you what it is. They want to be fake race hustlers. As a matter of fact, they hate other black fighters, and that's just the reality of the situation. If you and they're friends and down, they're friends. They're fans of networks. Like Al Heyman is a guy who don't nobody know what he look like, don't nobody know what he sound like. Hell, I work for Al. I get checks on the back end, quote unquote. I get checks on the back end, and guess what? I don't even know what he look like. I heard his voice before. You know what I mean? At least I think I did. Maybe I'm talking to AI. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, niggas will ride, niggas pledge allegiance. They would be wanting to kill and die and all that stuff for a man they never seen before. True. So once I saw that, it's only right that I make mockery of these niggas. And I'm like, dude, I can see if you was a young nigga hating, but you too old to be hating, dog. But when you got cottage cheese and titties and gooch grease, I mean, what you expect? We probably got to stall them out. Shout out to Seals. Hey, okay. Seals for dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Salute to Seals, man. Salute to you, fam. Let's see, we got other super chats. Shout out to Jason Jimenez. He said haters like manager Marsha manager of these nuts. Yeah, nigga hollering about you a manager. Nigga, what fighter you manage? What fighter you manage? Yeah, you know what I mean? Nigga, shut the fuck up. E.T. looking at nigga. Shout out to JRG.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
You say, Coach, once I heard Andrade call himself a Hall of Famer. Do you agree? You know what? You have to send me that. Can you send me that? Where Andrade said that he was a Hall of Famer, please send me that. Because I can promise you, there's nothing Hall of Fame about Demetrius Andrade. And I'm not hating on Demetrius Andrade, but bro, I can't tell you what was his signature win. Who did he beat? You get what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest with you, bro. Like, I can't. Andrade, and this is no shade on Demetrius Andrade, and I don't want to make no Demetrius Andrade fans feel bad. But Demetrius Andrade is nowhere near a Hall of Famer. I can damn near promise you that. Shout out to Dodge J.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, "Oh boy, got a nerve to call his channel international, but he talk about the same fighters over and over, make it make sense." Well, you know, it's a business. I told you guys, you know, YouTube is all about the clicks and the views. So what happens is, I'm finna give you guys a game, right? What happens on YouTube is this here. You know, like, I know my audience very well. Other content creators, they know their audience very well. So when you build your platform on I hate Terrence Crawford, and you know that every time I drop a Terrence Crawford video, I get lots and lots of views, then my job is to continue to feed my sheep. The sheep wants to continue to hear the I hate Terrence Crawford videos, many different variations of that, and that's just what it is. And it makes some niggas look bad because this guy's a multi-millionaire doing very well. He is the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, 3-division world champion, first battle Hall of Famer, you know, 3-time Lineal, 3-time Ring Magazine, you know, 2014 Fighter of the Year, pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. Like, literally, bro, like, there's nothing to hate. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, 15 years in the game, you get what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, nigga, you old enough to be this man daddy. You know, the good news is if you got a grandpa like that nigga there, you know, cause I got grandkids myself. I got 5 grandkids, right? But when you're a grandpa like that nigga there, you know, the good news is if his grandkids ever need some breast milk, at least he can give them some breast milk out of them titties. Shout out to Alan Maddox. He say Buzz targeting individual. They say Buzz stalking. You say they Buzz stalking. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I mean, but targeted by whom? Like, these niggas ain't nobody. Ain't nobody like, oh shit, man, you know, these broke ass niggas on YouTube. These what kind of nigga YouTube channels. Man, these niggas here, boy, they stalking me. Them niggas ain't nobody.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
So that's what it is, man. It's about AdSense and revenue. And if you have an audience that's built on hating a guy, you have to continue to feed them what they want to hear, and that's just what it is. Look at every big YouTube channel. I'm telling you, they got, like, Crawford is the most dropped name in a lot of these channels right now. He's that guy. He's that guy right now. Those are the facts. Saul Canelo Alvarez have a fight coming up with Jamel Charlo next weekend. Guess what? They still talk. They talking about more about Crawford than that fight coming up. I you know, like, for real though. True. For real. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
L from Kansas City. 2 times the D Block was up.
L from Kansas City 2 times. Talk to me.
Hey, so I'm listening to you talk about Terrence Crawford, and the one thing I'm actually concerned about with him, because I see how much people hate him, and I see how much the PBC, even though they made the money with him, they don't really like him. I'm wondering if they're going to try to set him up in some negative way, and I can't figure it out. I don't know if you think the same or if you thought of it. I just wonder, because there's a lot of fighters that come up with weird things, positive tests that they don't seem to know about, and this makes me wonder if somebody would do something backhanded to try to ruin him through the PBC. You ever thought about that?
No, I don't think about that, because at the end of the day, there's really nothing the PBC can do. You know, Terrence Crawford is he trains, you know, he got good trainers, you know, he have good dietitians, you know what to put in his body, what not to put in his body. It's not like he's going to the PBC headquarters and eating their food or, you know, drinking their water. He's not doing that. He runs a tight ship. You know, it's obvious he's not a PBC fighter because they don't even treat him like that at all. He has a 2-fight deal with him, with the network, and you know, he's promoting his own fight TBC Promotions, Terrence Bud Crawford Promotions, along with Man Down Promotions and Tom Brown Promotions. He's fighting a fighter that's advised by the PBC, and that fighter realized that he was his own boss by making this fight happen with Terrence Crawford. So yeah, he's good to go. I mentioned that to him before. I say, man, you ain't a PBC fighter now, so when you fight this fight, you fighting on PBC, man, Island, and the media ain't gonna be too kind to you, maybe, and you can't let this go 12 rounds. And he told me, he say, man, I ain't worried about. I told him, I say, I told Bomac, I said, yo, you got to worry about the referees, man, and you got to make sure, can't let it go to the scorecards. I mean, the judges. And he said, we ain't worried about the judges. We got people on our team that's handling all of that. That's gonna make sure that we get the right judges and stuff. They already covered on that. And he said we don't plan on going 12 rounds anyways. So we're gonna take it out of the hands of the judges. So I don't care what type of setup you have outside of the mafia threatening your family, or you getting an illegal substance rubbed in your eyes to blind you. Outside of that, when you get in that ring, you stop a motherfucker. So I don't go in there. I don't go in there with a victim mentality, thinking about conspiracy. Oh man, there's a possibility that this can happen and that can happen, because that's what them other niggas do. So yeah, I don't think like that. I don't think like that.
I just, when it comes to boxing, I just learned that I never know what I can trust, and so because he is one of my favorite fighters, and I just think, I said, damn, there's a lot of hate going towards him that really doesn't need to be going. I'm like, I just want, I hate to think that way, but this is the world we live in, so I have to think that way. I'm defensive because he got to stay offensive, so that's the way I'm thinking.
All right, shout out to L, man. Kansas City, stand up. I mean, Floyd Mayweather was hated. Floyd Mayweather was hated. Floyd Mayweather was hated like a motherfucker, but guess what? When you get that man in the ring, it ain't that nobody can do. That's what you control, the ring. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin from Oakland, talk to me.
Yeah, Coach. I could seriously see Crawford as one of those guys that not only embraces the hate, but he thrives on that shit. Like, literally, like nothing makes him happier. Floyd could fake the funk, but, deep down, that fool insecure, lost all his chicks to all his partners, hides behind the money. But I think deep down, it drives him crazy to know he's not beloved like all the boxing legends. But Crawford, you could tell he gets off on that shit. Like, yeah, talk your shit. I'm just going to sit here and laugh, beat the shit out of your favorite fighter, and do it moving.
Yeah.
Nothing PBC could do to that, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Only thing the PBC could do to that man is give him more money. That's about it.
Yeah, that's just about it to the situation, man. No, you're right about that. He loves to hate, like, and I think these guys don't understand. They don't get it. The more you hate on him and lie on him and talk bad about him, the worse you're going to make it for Errol Spence in the ring. Because he gets a chip on his shoulder off anything. Errol Spence literally have not said one word. But Bud is that type of dude. He a quiet guy. He don't really say much. He talk a lot. He do talk a lot of trash when he around his family. But he don't really say much. But he like, yeah, man, he be like, all right, okay, all right. All right. Okay, you gonna do what?
He ain't no dummy.
He like, all right. Okay, all right. He said, all right, are you okay? All right, I'm gonna show you. He's like one of those guys. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you. He ain't, you ain't, just real calm and okay, I'm gonna show you. Then when he get in the ring, nigga turn that switch on, and they say, he putting hands and foots on you, and you trying to figure out how he did that. Wait a minute. It's like, dude, okay, it is what it is. But shout out to Martin, man. You got a lot of wind in the background. Salute. Oakland, stand up.
For sure, Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, you got fighters just like that, bro. Like, he's one of those guys that, he ain't finna do a whole lot of jibber jabber stuff like that. Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, okay, we gonna see. Shout out to Alan Maddox dropping that $2 super chat. He say Buzz a targeted individual. They say Buzz stalking. They Buzz stalking. Shout out to Alan Maddox dropping that $2 super chat. He said PBC stands for Pop, BS, and Scream. Okay. Shout out to Alan Maddox. He said that PBC stands for Pop, BS, and Cry. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Y'all ain't doing that but making it bad, making it hard on your boy, because he gonna take it. That's who he gonna take it out on. I promise you he gonna take it out on him. Oh, okay, they still ain't giving him my credit. Okay, fine, that's cool. All right, rematch, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this nigga again. I'm finna make these niggas cry even more. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? You the last call.
Yes, sir. Coach Eddie 2 times.
Coach Eddie 2 times, talk to me.
Yes, sir. I know we've been talking about Floyd a lot, and that's that's Floyd. His influence on boxing is so strong, man. Like you said, I mean, Floyd has kind of been like crack, to the boxing community. When crack first hit the scene, it was good. Everybody was popping, making money, but now we seeing the after effects of Floyd, and I think that the media and the powers that be do not want another Floyd Mayweather. That's why a lot of these boxers are suffering right now, because they don't want them guys to make that type of money anymore, because the way Floyd is so brash and so arrogant. They're like, nah, we can't have another Floyd Mayweather. So they do everything in their power to make sure that these guys don't reach that pinnacle, while still using them for the boxing and stuff like that. Because like I say, Floyd, man, just has such an influence on boxing, and a lot of these guys, man, they're gonna wind up broke, because they spending money like they Floyd. See, Floyd got hundreds of millions of dollars. These guys, these guys is single-digit millionaires, $2, $3, $4 million, and they spending money like they got $100 million. No buying Rolls Royces and Phantoms and spending $1 million on jewelry. When a lot of these guys, when they start, coming down, maybe 10 years now, a lot of these guys are gonna be broke, coach. We're gonna be reading about these guys. They're gonna be shooting real bad because they try to be like Floyd.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to Coach Eddie, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling the show. Salute. ATL, stand up. You know what, Coach Eddie? I see what Coach Eddie is saying. I want to explain something to you guys too, man, because there's a huge misconception. You always hear about, them old school guys, they ended up broke, they ain't have no money, this and that, yada, yada, yada. And Floyd Mayweather preached, we need to keep our wealth. Let's stop right there. A lot of guys, if you don't know how to manage your money, you will go broke. That's anybody. There are fighters who did make some money. They made some good money in boxing. Even the lower tier fighters, they might have made enough money to be able to retire and live comfortably, right? But if you're a fighter, you don't have the right team, and you don't have business knowledge, understand how money works, how to take 25% of your money and live off of that and put 75% up after you paid your taxes and stuff. And like, if you don't understand the concept of how money works, then a lot of these guys end up broke. And fans will say, oh man, see, they ain't get paid back then. No, that ain't necessarily, they didn't get paid back then. Quite a few of those fighters, if you have bad spending habits, you can't blame the sport of boxing for not getting paid. If you got bad spending habits, if you like to trick in the club with the females, if you buying all types of expensive cars, if you in the club balling, throwing money in the air, doing this and doing that, mismanaging your money throughout your boxing career, that's how you end up broke. And then people will say, yeah, man, boxing, them dudes ain't get paid. That's why Floyd preached this and preached that. That's not always true, because people leave out the fact that a lot of those guys, they don't know how to manage their money. So if you mismanage your money, that's just like you getting a paycheck, right? All of us get paychecks, 9 to 5s and all that stuff there. Let's say your bills is, okay, like my bills, our bills in this household is $10,000 a month, right? 10 grand a month, right? And let's say your bills is $1,500 a month or $3,000 a month. Your bill's $3,000 a month, right? And you make about $5,000 a month after taxes. If you spending $2,500 a month balling on miscellaneous stuff, doing things that you ain't got no business doing, mismanaging your money, guess what? You are you're $500, like what I said, $3,000. No, see, I said $3,000, right? And your bills, what I said? Now I forgot what anyways, let's say your bills $1,500 a month and you made $3,000 a month, but you're spending $2,500 a month. You get what I'm saying? That leaves you $500. So you, man, I ain't got enough money, man. I ain't got enough money. Yeah, but you mismanaging your money, dog. You blowing $2,500 a month. Your bill's $1,500 a month. You're blowing $2,500. That's only leaving you $500. They ain't paying me the money. No, you mismanaging the money that you're making. And that's what goes on in boxing. A lot of these guys mismanage their money. A perfect example in the modern day time is, what's my main man name? 8B, About Billions. Agent Broner is a perfect example of that. True. Agent Broner is a perfect example of that. Like, literally. He made millions of dollars. Guess what? He ain't got it no more. They can't blame boxing. Oh, man, yeah, man, he ended up broke, man. Boxing, he ain't get paid to boxing. No, that guy made a whole lot of money, bro. We saw Adrian Broner flushing $20 bills down the toilet. We saw Adrian Broner throwing money in the air at Walmart. I don't keep nothing less than $100 bill on me. Once he break $100 bill, I don't keep change. I'm AB. Guess what? I bet he wish he had that change now. True. Hell, we even see Michael Jackson go broke. He was cash poor but asset rich because Michael Jackson had an expensive spending habit. He used to spend like he used to spend a whole lot of money. Now, even though he made a boatload of money, but it comes a time in your career when you have more money. If you have more money going out than coming in, that means you in the negative, partner. You in the negative. So now you got to get a loan from the bank. Use your assets as leverage in order to get loans, borrow against your assets. You get what I'm saying? Because you're mismanaging your money. So that happens. The richest of the richest. So when people say, yeah, man, Floyd Mayweather, he'll never be broke. That ain't true. It been people had more money than Floyd Mayweather that ended up going broke. He ain't have more money than Michael Jackson. Literally, he didn't. So, so those spending habits, you really got to watch your spending habits. If you got, you got expensive taste, and then a lot of times, like, the lifestyle is an image that you keep up. I got this lifestyle. I got to keep this image up in order to make people think that I still got it. I still balling because sometimes your public persona is what makes you money as well. As long as I keep you thinking that I'm money this and money that, my public persona in the public is a marketing tool that I use in order to attract more money to me. So that's what it is. That's what it is as well. A lot of times, we on the outside looking in. I can tell you a lot of shit don't be what it seemed to be. A lot of stuff gonna be what it seemed to be. You get what I'm saying? It be all smoke and mirrors, True. Let's give a shout out, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to who gave me a cash out. Shout out to everybody who gave a cash out. Shout out to hold on. Shout out to T Seals. Hey, okay. For the cash out, man. I appreciate you, fam. Let's get to the super chatters, man. Shout out to Ellie Maddox. Hey, okay. Shout out to Dodge J. Hey, okay. Shout out to JRG. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jason Jimenez. Hey, okay. Shout out to AMK. Hey, okay. Shout out to Ron Boy Fresh. Hey, okay. Shout out to Swiss 718. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jesus Garza. Hey, okay. It is what it is, man. And let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys know me now. I do like to give a shout out to the tenderonis and the honey dips. I want a honey dip. The girls are so fine. Man, that sounds so good. I'm thinking about going on tour with Brian McKnight. Shout out to Summer in November. Hey, okay. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Hey, okay. Shout out to Passion for Beauty. Hey, okay. Shout out to Elena. Hey, okay. Shout out to Bless 365. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jackie Hernandez. Hey, okay. Shout out to Sheila E. Hey, okay. Shout out to La Jessica. Hey, okay. Shout out to Nick Rich. Hey, okay. Shout out to Food Revolution. Hey, okay. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Duchess of Wisdom. Hey, okay. Shout out to Letitia. Hey, okay. Shout out to Kiki. Hey, okay. Shout out to Ebony 76. Hey, okay. Shout out to my main man Swat Jones. Hey, okay. Shout out to Swat Jones in the building, man. Who else I had in here, man? There's somebody I forgot. Yeah, shout out to Elena as well. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jamie Rivera. Hey, okay. Shout out to Cool K. Shout out to Mike, the mobile mechanic. Shout out to Jay Dodge in the building. Shout out to Dodge J. Sorry about that. Shout out to J Man in the building. Shout out to JC. Salute, fam. Shout out to D Block. Shout out to. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot the phone calls. That's right. I forgot the phone calls. Let's get to the phone calls. Shout out to D Block. He called 3 times. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jerry from. Shout out. Was that? No, this is the wrong one. My bad, guys. Shout out to Jerry. Hey, okay. Shout out to Curtis from Long Beach. Hey, okay. Shout out to Jamie from New York. Hey, okay. 2 times. Shout out to Coach Eddie from the ATL 2 times. Hey, okay. Shout out to Kearney from Minnesota. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Boston Historian man from Seattle. Hey, okay. Shout out to D Block 2 times. Hey, okay. Shout out to Marco from the 714. Hey, okay. Shout out to L from Kansas City 2 times. Hey, okay. Shout out to Damien from B-More. Hey, okay. Shout out to Easy from Dallas, Texas. Hey, okay. And shout out to Martin from Oakland. Hey, okay. It is what it is, man. Y'all know what time in TI is, man. We make it do what it do. Shout out to La Jessica. I got La Jessica on here too. Yeah, I got LaJessica on that too. Shout out to LaJessica. Shout out to Corey Bradley. Salute, fam. Mike the Mobile Mechanic. Shout out to Harvey. Shout out to my brother Swat Jones in the building. It is what it is. You guys do know. Now, before we go, we have to say all praises due to the Most High, the most exalted, the greatest human being on the planet Earth, Mr. Al Heyman.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican Monster.
Shout out to Ali Maddox. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, he say, salute to Coach Eddie. Ask him when they're going to move to indict Canelo. He say, on all them fraud, theft, jury tampering, false impersonations, and fraud charges. But one thing I say about Ali Maddox, boy, when it come to hating Canelo, Ali Maddox is
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
If you sitting there watching the show, didn't want to hit the like button, hate watching, and you came from over there from cottage cheese and titties, Riley, get him.
Gloria Day and the Set Trips.
Sorry about that, guys. It's the wrong one. Riley, get him.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
And also, guys, I do want to, if anybody want to celebrate, man, shout out to Tank Davis, man. He's out. I heard he's doing a lot in the city of Baltimore. Shout out to all the young jitterbugs, whippersnappers out there balling, getting money. Hopefully these guys get in the ring and fight each other within the next 5 years, because I don't see none of these fights going down until the next 5 years. It is what it is, man. I don't like it myself. But, hey, man, I hear they celebrating right now.
Hey. Yeah. Ooh, that look good. How much fun?
It is what it is, man. Y'all know what time it TI is, man. We sitting back, man, making it do what it do, make it crack a lag. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I got another video that I'm going to be dropping. I promise you, I'm not going to lighten up. I'm going to tighten up. When they go low, I dig a ditch. I plan on burying these cockroaches. I'm not playing with these guys. No niggas, I ain't coming on your platform. I'm gonna stay right over here where I'm at, just like you niggas ain't gonna come on my platform. I'm gonna stay right over here, and guess what? I'm gonna continue to desecrate you sap suckers, sambos, jive turkeys, sellouts, buck dancing, boot licking, chicken Georgian, whole ass aerosexual niggas. You Wakanda niggas, I ain't gonna say hate. I can't stand you niggas. Cause I don't wanna, want you to be tripping. I can't stand you niggas. Don't nobody dislike you niggas more than me. And I'ma keep my foot on your necks until I snap that motherfucker. And I mean that. See you guys tomorrow, man, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please sign up for the newsletter. I'm gonna try to have Ring IQ on tomorrow. My main man, Jules from Ring IQ. Have him on tomorrow. I think he's going to come on about 5 o'clock, I think he said. So we're going to get him on. I'm going to try to get the other content creators on the show as well and just let them talk, man. You guys can call in. Just some of the guys I rock with that I really, really like, man. So I'm going to try to reach out to everybody. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them all, but it is what it is. But please sign up for the newsletter. That's so that anytime I go live or drop a video, I will send you an email or a text message letting you know that, hey, I just dropped the video. We're going live at this time. Because YouTube don't always send out the notifications. That's so you'll get it directly from me. No bots or anything. No AI is going to send you a message. It's going to come directly from me from my phone. Hate, like, share, and subscribe. See you guys on the next one. My motto, don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.